Chapter 4:15. During the flight, Xiaofan was also very curious and kept looking around. What entered his eyes was an endless universe. Everywhere he looked, there were all kinds of dazzling colors. Red, black, blue, yellow. These were the various energy flows in the universe, some were even mirages. There were also some burning meteorites. Clouds were rising. All kinds of astronomical wonders. But fortunately, after flying for a few hours, they did not encounter the legendary terrible space cracks, thunderbolts, heavenly fires, abyss black holes, or any other deadly energy turbulence. However, during the flight, it was sometimes hot and sometimes cold. But everyone's cultivation was not weak, and these obstacles did not trouble them at all. Just like that, they flew for a day and a night. The second day, they passed through a strong wind zone. It was the hurricane zone of the universe. But fortunately, it did not blow the team apart, just made them use up some of their true chi. After passing through the hurricane zone, there was another large stable space. In the afternoon, eldest senior brother, Brother Luo, it seems that the pagoda master chose this path, which was a wise move. Xiaohan's psyche wave swept into the Yen chivalrous token and communicated with Xiao Mingchu and Luo Tianyu. Along the way, it was all Zhuangkong Avenue. Before this, I was also very unfamiliar with traveling through the universe, and even had some fear of the unknown. But now, it's not much different from flying normally. It's just that we have to concentrate our psyche force and use up more true chi. Provided that we do not encounter the turbulence of the universe, Xiao Mingchu immediately replied to Xiaohan. Junior brother Xiaohan, don't let your guard down. It's a journey of 260 days. We've only traveled for the first day. It's still early. The universe is unpredictable. Who knows what's waiting for us, but according to the pagoda master, the main turbulence of energy on this journey is the hallucinatory Fiend land, which we have not encountered so far. The pagoda master naturally chose this path after careful consideration. He must have his reasons. Luo Tianyu also sent a message. While communicating with Xiaohan and Xiao Mingchu, everyone expressed their opinions casually. In short, be prepared to defend against the hallucinatory Fiend land that will definitely appear. Also, we have already left our plane, and we may encounter the heroes of other planes at any time. We must be careful about this. One must always guard against others. What's the situation with the heroes from other planes? Xiaohan looked around with great interest and smiled. I'm afraid I won't meet the chivalrous men from other planes for the time being. Meanwhile, the pagoda master and the 12 elders were also using their minds to communicate. Pagoda master is really far-sighted and meticulous. This road was too safe. This road was really smooth. Flying was not tiring at all. A 260-day journey? Perhaps we can arrive ahead of time. An elder flattered. The pagoda master also had a smug expression on his face, but he still reminded them. It's still too early to say these things. The road was still long. Of course, I also hope that I can reach the space springboard without any trouble. However, the universe was like a bottomless abyss. It was better to be safe than sorry. Although we've left our real bodies in the monster hero pagoda this time, we've spent more than half of our energy to form this clone. We can't afford to have any mishaps. Yes, Tower Master. A full 20 days had passed. In these 20 days, Xiaohan and the others' journey was surprisingly smooth. They did not encounter any energy turbulence that could pose a threat. On the 5th day, they encountered a meteorite fragment flow. However, the speed was very slow, and they easily bypassed it. At that moment, everyone was extremely optimistic. They were chatting cheerfully and wittily. Even the pagoda master had completely relaxed. Gu Pan said proudly, "Fortunately, I didn't choose the 200-day space springboard. Ha 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 ha. This road. We probably won't encounter too many dangers on the way. Luck Dao. Luck Dao. Ha ha ha. Pagoda Master is wise. The elders flattered him. The 25th day. Suddenly, the Pagoda Master, who was flying at the front, suddenly stopped. They saw that 1,000 miles in front of the Pagoda Master, a large black space appeared. It seemed to cover the sky and the sun. The huge black space stretched for many miles. It was so dark that the bottom could not be seen. It was like the mouth of a giant star beast. Pagoda Master. That space is. The 12 elders were all shocked. The 103 chivalrous heroes all stopped and stared at the black space. Don't panic. The Pagoda Master shouted coldly and took a step forward. Suddenly, the light red mark between the Pagoda Master's eyebrows opened. All of a sudden, a vertical eye opened up from the mark, bursting out from the flesh. It emitted a light that was filled with immortal chi. It was like an aurora that swept away the chaos and illuminated the universe. It could pierce through any nothingness, and it could even see the immortal chi that was distributed in every corner of the universe. In an instant, the brilliant light from the vertical eye shone into the black space in front of it, and it quickly scanned the entire area. It was as if everything in the black space was faintly and clearly seen by this vertical eye. It was clear that nothing would be missed. Immortal Eye. Only human martial artists who cultivated their true chi to the extreme and opened 101 true acupoints in their body could open this immortal eye. It could be said that opening the immortal eye was equivalent to becoming a half-immortal. They could see and collect the immortal chi that ordinary people couldn't detect to purify their body and condense the immortal body. In Xiaofan's plane, only the Pagoda Master had opened 101 true acupoints and successfully opened the immortal eye. That's the immortal eye? Xiaofan hurriedly sent a message to Xiao Mingchu and Luo Tianyu. It's amazing. The Pagoda Master is indeed worthy of being the leader of the human race in our plane. No one can compete with him. The immortal eye is really mysterious. I, Xiaofan, have learned something today. Although Xiaofan despised the Pagoda Master's behavior, now Xiaofan admired the Pagoda Master's cultivation level. He really admired him. A moment later, whoosh, the light retracted. The Pagoda Master closed his third eye, his face slightly pale. Pagoda Master, that's. The 12 elders immediately asked nervously. Phew, it was a false alarm. The Pagoda Master laughed. Just now, I opened the immortal eye and analyzed the black space in front of us. Well, I see. It's just that because the light can't penetrate that area, it's dark. There's no turbulence of energy in it. That black space is only 100 li in size. Let's go through it now. Don't worry. It's just that the light can't reach it, it's just an illusion and darkness. Let's go. After saying that, the Pagoda Master led the way and flew towards the black space. Ha ha ha. We're too nervous. Let's go. The 12 elders also laughed. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, the large group of people flew into the black space. Junior brother Xiaofan, be careful. Xiao Mingchu sent a message to Xiaofan using his third eye. Eldest senior brother, be careful too, Xiaofan immediately replied. Finally, the 100 people were all devoured by the black space. They could fly through 100 li in the blink of an eye. There's no dangerous energy flow in this black space. It's just darkness caused by vision. The Pagoda Master's immortal eye analysis is also very accurate. Xiaofan and Xiao Mingchu flew side by side. However, all of a sudden, in the pitch-black darkness, a ray of light suddenly appeared. This ray of light was only as thick as a hair. It was only a few inches long. Logically speaking, such a tiny ray of light could be completely ignored in such a large area of darkness. However, because this space was too dark, even if a tiny ray of light appeared, it would be instantly noticed by others. That's... All the evil warriors were slightly stunned. Their flying speed involuntarily slowed down as they stared at the ray of light. Gradually, the ray of light that was as thick as a hair began to expand. It became the size of a little finger and quickly became as thick as a thumb. From a few inches long, it became a few feet long. The light became brighter and brighter, illuminating the black space. Oh no! Suddenly, a thunderous explosion erupted in the black space. It came from the pagoda master. Quickly fly out of this black space. Quick! Use your fastest speed. That's a spatial crack. Leave quickly. Otherwise, you'll die. It's urgent. It's urgent. Spatial crack? As soon as he finished speaking. Boom! The ray of light completely expanded. Like a devil's eye, it was completely opened. The violent suction force spread out like a tide, causing a large area of the black space to collapse and be obliterated. Moreover, this black space began to shatter at a speed visible to the naked eye, forming densely packed spatial fragments. In the blink of an eye, the two evil warriors closest to the spatial crack did not even have time to react before their bodies were directly pulled over. Poo poo, poo 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 poo. In less than 1/100th of a breath, the two evil warriors were minced by countless spatial fragments, their bodies cut into tens of thousands of pieces. Poochie. The broken corpses and blood were directly swallowed by the spatial crack. The thick smell of blood immediately filled the black space. It was too terrifying. The two evil warriors at the 7th level of True Chi, Talisman Transformation Realm, did not even have time to react or struggle before they died without a complete corpse. Ah! Damn it! Don't just stand there. Rush out. Quick! Rush out! The pagoda master screamed in horror. Quick! Quick! Get away from that spatial crack! The 12 elders and many evil warriors screamed in fear and ignited their true chi, desperately rushing out. At that moment, the crack in space suddenly disappeared. However, in the next moment, four spatial rifts bloomed in different directions. Ah no! Poo 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 poo, poo 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 poo. A total of 9 evil warriors were instantly pulled over and minced into pieces. Eldest senior brother, rush out! Quick! Xiaofan roared in a stern voice. The 4 spatial cracks disappeared in an instant, but very quickly, they appeared in other directions, one after another, without any warning. Poo 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 poo, poo 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 poo. Another 11 evil warriors died a violent death. After dozens of breaths, the rest of the evil warriors flew out of the black space and flew far away. With eyes that looked like they had just survived a disaster, they stared blankly at the black space that could devour people without blinking. At the same time, all of them looked at the surrounding space with vigilant eyes. Fortunately, the surrounding space was extremely stable, and there were no spatial cracks appearing. Too terrifying. 22 chivalrous heroes have died. In just a few breaths of time, 22 chivalrous heroes have died. Luo Tianyo's eyes were completely bloodshot. The surviving evil warriors' faces were pale. Along the way, they hadn't encountered any danger for nearly a month. Everyone thought that the journey would be smooth and uneventful. But now, in the blink of an eye, 22 of them died. Those who died were all the geniuses of the evil warrior world. All of them were pillars under the age of 10,000. All of them were famous existences that could shake mountains and rivers. But just now, they were no different from ordinary people who had no strength to truss a chicken. Eldest senior brother, danger is everywhere. Xiaofan also had a lingering fear. Just now, if I didn't run fast, I guess I would have been directly sucked in. All right. Don't waste time here. Traveling in the universe is like this, you can easily lose your life. In that situation just now, there was nothing I could do. The pagoda master's exasperated voice sounded. We have lost 22 outstanding geniuses. Forget it, the rest of you, continue to hurry. We can no longer turn back. Let's go. Continue to hurry, now we have to be more vigilant. The 12 elders were also a little hysterical. To be continued. Chapter 4:16. At this moment, the mood of Xiaofan and the others had fallen to rock bottom. They were dispirited. They were no longer as excited and complacent as before. In a few breaths, 22 demons had fallen, that black space was quiet. At this moment, it seemed especially mysterious, and also especially ironic. It was like a giant beast that would choose its prey to devour, killing without batting an eye. Don't be depressed. That was an unexpected situation just now. You can't blame me. The pagoda master was also exasperated. Those spatial cracks appeared at any time, anywhere, and in an instant. In other words, the space was stable and calm in one breath. In the next breath, spatial cracks appeared without any warning. Even immortals can't predict it. Yes, I used my immortal eye to scan and didn't find any danger. But, man proposes, God disposes. This is a natural disaster. Forget it. From now on, raise your spirits and move forward carefully. That was an exception. Definitely an exception. Previously, I analyzed this path according to the map. Most areas will not have destructive disasters like spatial cracks. Just now, it was purely an accident. There is no turning back now. Since we have already reached this stage, let's not dilly-dally and move forward. After saying that, the pagoda master's face was frighteningly cold. He led the way, and the immortal eye between his brows slightly opened. It shot out a ray of light and scanned the surroundings cautiously. Since you don't have the guts, don't even think about touching the immortal emperor's treasure. Humph. The ancient giant Yen Qi sneered and followed the pagoda master. The elder and the other demons also flew forward one after another. But now, their faces were not relaxed. They all looked as if they were facing a great enemy. Junior brother Xiaofan, let's go too. Xiao Mingchu smiled bitterly. It's not easy. Xiaofan and Xiao Mingchu flew side by side. Yes, the immortal emperor's treasure is not so easy to explore. Think about it carefully, it's inevitable to pay a price. The team continued forward. They advanced for a full 50 days. During these 50 days, as they advanced, they also encountered spatial energy turbulence of varying degrees. There was the extreme flame region, extreme cold region, wind blade tide. Fortunately, these turbulent energy flows were traceable and not as terrifying as the space cracks. As a result, only a small number of chivalrous heroes and a few elders in the team suffered minor injuries, but they were fine. There were no more deaths. This was something worth celebrating. Eldest senior brother, Brother Luo, we've only advanced for about 80 days. TSK, we're not even a third of the 260 days of journey. Xiaohan's spirit wave swept into the Yen chivalrous token and casually communicated with Xiao Mingchu and Luo Tianyu. At this time, because they were already very far away from the original plane, Xiaofan and the others could no longer use the demon chivalrous token to send a message back and communicate with Wu Yu and the others. Fortunately, I didn't run into any more terrifying spatial rifts. Luo Tianyu revealed a faint smile of relief on his face. I've summed up some experience. As long as we don't run into any spatial rifts, we won't suffer a large number of casualties. The next day, the team came to a halt once more. A strange sight appeared in the space in front of him. There were a few rainbows scattered in the vast space ahead. There were a total of 5 rainbows. The longest one was a few meters long, and the shortest one was only about half a meter. The rainbow was dazzling and beautiful. However, if one looked closely, they would see that there seemed to be some images flashing in the rainbows. There were deserts and oases in some rainbows. There were dazzling palaces in some rainbows. There were lively markets in some rainbows. There were bright moons, beauties, scholars, admiring flowers, and reciting poems in some rainbows. The scenery in some rainbows was constantly changing. Sometimes there was a clear breeze, sometimes there was a thunderstorm, sometimes there were figures, and sometimes there was a battle on the battlefield. Countless scenes appeared in the rainbow, constantly changing. If one looked at it for a long time, it would be hard for them to not be able to avoid feeling dizzy, and even hallucinations would appear. Stop! The pagoda master's face kept twitching. The immortal eye between his eyebrows secreted rays of light. He scanned the space in front of him and scanned the rainbows. In the next moment, "It's a spirit fragment," the pagoda master said with certainty. That's right. It's a spirit fragment. Once these spirit fragments invade the brain of a living being, they will cause hallucinations and form the hallucinatory fiend realm. It can cause hallucinations, but it can also shatter a person's soul and make them lose their mind, and commit suicide. These beautiful rainbows are the spirit fragments that can create the hallucinatory fiend realm? The chivalrous heroes whispered to each other. None of them looked relaxed. We've finally encountered it. The pagoda master murmured. The path we chose is actually very safe. We only encountered a small spatial rift before. After that, it was more daunting than dangerous. However, the real test has finally arrived. I told you before we set off that the most important thing on this path is the hallucinatory fiend realm. Now, everyone, be careful. Remember, you must guard your heart with all your might. You must be calm. You must achieve a state where your mind is free from distractions, your eyes are focused on your nose is focused on your heart, and your heart is pure. The pagoda master said seriously. From now on, we can't miss the hallucinatory fiend realm in our future journey. These rainbows are just the beginning. The further we go, the more rainbows there will be, and the denser they will be. They might even form a storm and attack us. I'll warn everyone one last time. As long as you have a good heart and a strong mind, you won't be taken advantage of by the hallucinatory fiend realm. Even if your mind is accidentally occupied by the hallucinatory fiend realm, you must remember not to panic. You must not panic. Even if you have hallucinations, you must deal with them calmly. All the illusions will be like a gentle breeze, not lingering in your mind. An elder immediately added. The most important thing. Everything in the hallucinatory fiend realm is fake. All you have to do is remember this. For example, if you have hallucinations of killing, escaping, or fighting, yes, it's all fake. As long as you understand this, it'll be much easier to defend. Fake. The hallucinatory fiend realm is all fake. Many chivalrous heroes nodded. Let's go. The pagoda master ordered. A group of people flew forward. Moreover, they avoided the rainbows ahead of time. This is the spirit fragment. It will produce the hallucinatory fiend realm? Xiaofan licked his lips. I heard from eldest senior brother that these spirit fragments can even refine my spirit power and sharpen my soul, this. Thinking of this, Xiaofan looked left and right. Wait, I won't act rashly. I'll observe for a while. Anyway, there's still 2/3 of the way, and we'll encounter countless hallucinatory fiend realms. I don't have to rush. The group passed through the rainbows. Shockingly, the melodious sound of the huqin rang out. At first, the sound was like a crying woman, low and hoarse. Then, the sound became more and more sorrowful. There was an indescribable sadness that made people feel like their parents and relatives had passed away, or like they were abandoned by their loved ones. The sorrowful, sobbing sound lingered in everyone's ears, causing their hearts to tremble. Their souls resonated with the sound of the huqin. A few chivalrous heroes with weaker minds actually had tears in the corners of their eyes. They looked very sad. I'm having auditory hallucinations. Xiaofan's heart tightened. Fortunately, these auditory hallucinations are not very serious. My spirit power will not be affected too much. Oh yes, when we pass through these rainbows, our spirit power will be pulled. It's as if our spirit power is trying to break free from the sea of consciousness and converge with those rainbows. Xiaofan looked inside his brain. In the endless sea of consciousness, the gaseous spirit power really seemed to be secreting out. However, Xiaofan could still control his consciousness so that his spirit power would not collapse. Junior brother Xiaofan. Don't be affected by these sounds. It's all fake. It's a kind of spirit power fluctuation that is affecting our brains and causing auditory hallucinations. Xiao Mingqiu whispered into Xiaofan's ear, you just have to guard your heart and mind. Eldest senior brother, don't worry. I haven't been affected. It's fine. Xiaofan smiled. At this moment, the rainbows actually moved. He slowly moved towards the few chivalrous men with tears in their eyes. The evil heroes were still muddle-headed. Their expressions were faint, as if they were in a beautiful dream. Their bodies did not move at all. Wake up! The pagoda master shouted sternly. The sound waves rolled, and the majestic and invincible voice appeared in the ears of the evil heroes. Ah! The evil heroes' bodies trembled. Their eyes suddenly became clear. All of them were extremely shocked. Then, they quickly dodged the rainbows that were moving towards them. That was close. One of the evil heroes exclaimed. Your willpower is too weak. The pagoda master shook his head slightly. Just a few scattered hallucinatory demonic lands can affect your minds. Really? Forget it. You have to be more careful in the future. With this kind of mind, how did you cultivate to your current realm? Really? Yan Qi's face was full of disdain. The evil heroes all blushed with shame. They were simply too ashamed to show their faces. They hurriedly said, we will definitely be more careful. Alright, let's continue forward. Everyone has seen the hallucinatory demonic lands. In fact, it's not that big of a deal, is it? The hallucinatory demonic lands can automatically absorb our mental strength. As long as we guard our minds and control our mental strength so that it does not leave our minds, it will not be a problem. Let's continue forward. The pagoda master ordered. This is much less destructive than the spatial rift. They continued forward. At this moment, Xiaofan did not know what was going on. Unexpectedly, he formed a hand seal with both hands. It was the hand seal of the destroying heaven and earth spirit technique. In the next moment, one of the smaller rainbows trembled a few times. Then, it directly shrank to the size of an inch. With a teleportation, it directly shot towards Xiaofan. Huh! Xiaofan was slightly stunned. This small rainbow had already shot into Xiaofan's forehead. Fortunately, Xiaofan was at the back of the group. His movements were very covert and silent. Thus, his movements were not discovered by the others. To be continued. Chapter 4:17. The group continued to move forward. The hallucinatory demonic realm had not appeared in the area in front of them yet. Xiaofan was at the back of the group. Xiao Mingqiu and Luo Tianyu were flying side by side with Xiaofan. Just now, Xiaofan had unexpectedly formed a hand seal, causing a rainbow to condense to a length of 1 inch. Then, it turned into a stream of light and instantly shot into Xiaofan's brain. This caused Xiaofan to be shocked and horrified. Inner brain region. Boom! The moment that 1 inch long rainbow shot into Xiaofan's brain region, it was immediately enveloped by the gaseous mental power in Xiaohan's sea of consciousness. Wang wang wang, the rainbow expanded. Many illusions appeared in Xiaohan's brain. Xiaohan's vision blurred, and he found himself wearing a red robe, sitting on a tall horse, and behind him was a Chinese trumpet team and a bridal sedan chair. In front of him, an old woman was happily carrying a bride with a red veil on her back, walking towards him. The sound of firecrackers sounded. The Chinese trumpets played a cheerful song to welcome the bride. Illusion. Suddenly, Xiaohan shook his head and formed a hand seal with both hands. All the illusions disappeared, and in his sea of consciousness, the rainbow that was enveloped by the gaseous mental power suddenly exploded. It turned into a drizzle and was instantly absorbed by the gaseous mental energy. A nourishing and refreshing feeling seeped out from Xiaohan's brain, causing him to burp uncontrollably. His whole body felt warm and comfortable. His mental power had actually increased a little. Junior brother Xiaohan, what's wrong? Xiao Mingqiu noticed that something was wrong, and immediately turned to look at Xiaohan. Luo Tianyu also turned to look at him. Little brother Xiaohan, what's wrong? It's nothing. Xiaohan immediately stretched his body without batting an eyelid. I'm a little tired from the journey, so I'll just slowly follow behind the group. I was dazed for a while just now, and it feels good. Ha ha ha. Little brother Xiaohan, you are indeed tired. Luo Tianyu laughed. After all, your cultivation realm is only at expanded acupoint realm, and the amount of Jinqi you have is lower than ours. Along the way, you have expended a lot of supreme-grade Jinqi spirit stones. Now that the hallucinatory demonic realm has appeared, you have to focus your mind at a high level. How about this, little brother Xiaohan? The space here is still relatively stable, so you should take a short nap. If anything happens, brother Xiao and I will call for you. With Xiaohan's cultivation, it was possible for him to rest while flying. Even closing one's eyes for a nap is nothing. Junior brother Xiaohan, take a rest. Xiao Mingqiu nodded at Xiaohan. Thank you, eldest senior brother and brother Luo, for taking care of me. Xiaohan quickly nodded. Thus, Xiao Mingqiu and Luo Tianyu flew in front of Xiaohan and opened a path for him. Protect and escort. Xiaohan was at the back of the group, his mind surging with thoughts. I can actually collect and refine the psychedelic demonic realm? What a surprise. Never in a million years. Eldest senior brother once said that the universe is filled with spiritual fragments. The psychedelic demonic realm is like a strange kind of true qi. It is almost impossible to refine and integrate it into one's soul to become one's own spiritual power. Otherwise, one's brain will explode when the dragon and tiger clash. Yes, spiritual power and soul power still need to be cultivated bit by bit. Spiritual power that does not belong to one, especially spiritual fragments that are floating in the vast universe, if one rashly absorbs it, it will definitely have the opposite effect. Even if one's brain does not explode, one will go crazy and become a lunatic. Thus, Xiaohan originally only wanted to use the psychedelic demonic realm to refine and train his spiritual power. He did not think of directly collecting and refining it. But at this moment, not only did Xiaohan perfectly refine a spiritual fragment and increase his spiritual power, but he did not feel any flaws or disharmony. The soul fragment exploded. Specks of light dots perfectly fused into Xiaohan's soul, becoming nourishment. There was no backlash, no clash of dragon and tiger, and no signs of being unable to adjust. This is great. This extinguishing sky decimating earth spiritual technique is indeed an immortal technique left behind by an almighty being of the demon egg. It cannot be measured with common sense. Seize the fortune of heaven and earth. As long as I refine enough spiritual fragments, causing my spiritual power to increase, I will be able to break through to the 8th spiritual finger technique. The 9th spiritual finger technique. The 10th spiritual finger technique. It can even liquefy spiritual power. Xiaohan's heart was burning with passion. Now, Xiaohan was looking forward to the psychedelic demonic realm. After flying for a few hours, the psychedelic demonic realm has appeared in front of us again. Everyone be careful. Guard your mind and speed up. Try not to look back. The voice of the pagoda master, who controlled the entire situation, rang out. Fly over. Hurry up. Some of the elders also started to clamor. Junior brother Xiaohan, be careful, the psychedelic demonic realm has appeared in front of us again. Xiao Mingqiu turned back and reminded Xiaohan. Brother Luo and I will directly charge over. Junior brother Xiaohan, you follow closely behind. Just follow us closely. Oh. Xiaohan swept his gaze and saw that in the blue space in front of him, there were a total of 14 rainbows, distributed in a disorderly manner. The longest one was more than 10 meters long. Alright, fly over. Xiaohan nodded repeatedly, eager to give it a try. Xiao, 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 with the pagoda master in the lead, the large group spread out, the surface of their bodies burning with true energy, raising their speed to the limit. They wanted to use the fastest speed to pass through the psychedelic demonic realm to avoid any complications. As for Xiaohan, he purposely slowed down a little. When Xiaohan flew past the rainbows, he began to hallucinate, as if 10,000 horses were galloping and a battlefield was being slaughtered. The atmosphere of the entire space became dense and oppressive, as if it was filled with a layer of killing intent. Gather for me. Xiaohan bit the tip of his tongue, forcefully dispelling the hallucinations and the colorful illusions in his vision. Then, his hands quickly formed a series of hand seals. Wang wang wang, in an instant, a total of 4 rainbows directly condensed, teleported, and shot into Xiaohan's brain. Now is not the time to be greedy. Xiaohan did not gather all the rainbows in this space. On one hand, he was afraid that his soul would not be able to withstand it, and on the other hand, he was afraid of attracting the attention of the pagoda master and the others. Xiao, after gathering the 4 rainbows, Xiaohan also increased his speed and flashed away from the area. The large group of people quickly left. No one looked back, and of course, no one realized that Xiaohan had gathered a few psychedelic demonic realms. Junior brother Xiaohan, you should speed up a little more. Xiao Mingqiu, who was flying in the safe area, turned back and smiled at Xiaohan. Just now, you did not immediately fly over. I thought you were trapped by the psychedelic demonic realms. He eldest senior brother, my heart was not disturbed. Just now, it was just a little hallucination, Xiaohan replied with a smile. Eldest senior brother, the next time we encounter the psychedelic demonic realms, I will speed up a little. In case I fall behind. Alright. Xiao Mingqiu nodded, and then turned back to chat with Luo Tianyu. At this moment, Xiaohan's soul swelled. For rainbows swelled in Xiaohan's mind, causing him to have a series of hallucinations. Of course, with the strength of Xiaohan's soul, he could easily deal with this degree of hallucination. He formed a seal with both hands. Destroying heaven, decimating earth mental technique. Pooh. 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 The 4 rainbows exploded one by one, turning into the most precious spring rain, nourishing Xiaohan's thirsty soul. Waves of numbness and refreshment poured into every cell in Xiaohan's body. Xiaohan's mental strength was increasing continuously. Xiaohan only felt refreshed, as if he was a glutton eating and a drunkard getting drunk. If I could devour more psychedelic demonic realms, it would be so comfortable. Just like that, 10 days passed. In these 10 days, the group encountered a total of 23 psychedelic demonic realms. However, each time, it was only sporadic psychedelic demonic realms. The most they encountered was only 31 rainbows. The group made it through with 0 casualties. The price they had to pay was only a few ancient giants who were slightly weaker in heart. They made a fool of themselves because of a temporary hallucination. In these 10 days, Xiaofan had also gained a lot. He had secretly captured and refined 48 psychedelic demonic realms without batting an eyelid. This caused Xiaofan's mental strength to be effectively strengthened. The volume of the gaseous mental strength in his brain had increased by 1/3. Now, I definitely have the confidence to complete the 8th spiritual finger technique. Xiaofan was very confident. Moreover, with the increase in mental strength, my mastery stage saber intent has been polished to the point of showing off its sharpness. Its power has increased by who knows how many times. The current Xiaofan was purely making a fortune in silence. No one knew that Xiaofan could have a fortuitous encounter in the midst of danger. Even Xiao Mingchu and Luo Tianyu were completely in the dark. For Xiaofan, who was eager to complete the 8th spiritual finger technique, he could only endure and wait for an opportunity. The group continued forward. The next day, the group encountered the psychedelic demonic realm again. But this time, their luck was not so good. To be precise, they encountered the psychedelic demonic realm style this time. The space in front of them was filled with rainbows. There were tens of thousands of them. The largest rainbows were 10 zhang long and several zhang wide. They showed illusions of dragons and serpents rising from the land, the stars moving, the sun changing, the moon changing, the wind blowing, and the clouds scudding. It was a spectacular sight. All kinds of sounds, the roars of monsters, the resentful flute sounds, the sound of a huqin, the sound of a volcano erupting, the sound of waves, and even the sound of sex filled this area. Before the group even got close to the area, all the demons felt their scalps go numb. It was as if their souls were about to be pulled over. Oh no! Pagoda Master, the psychedelic demonic realms here are densely packed and endless. The situation is very dangerous. An elder's throat was dry as he looked at the Pagoda Master. Pagoda Master, what do we do now? The Pagoda Master's eyes were cold, and the muscles at the corner of his eyes twitched. He did not speak for a long time. In the end, the Pagoda Master said with a serious face. Everyone, don't panic. Yes, the psychedelic demonic realms in front of us are very densely packed, and the number is very terrifying. We must pass through this area. Now, everyone, observe carefully. In reality, the psychedelic demonic realms are almost motionless. What we need to do is to spread out and choose the position with the largest gap to pass through. On one hand, everyone, guard your mind and don't be distracted. On the other hand, if you have illusions, you must pay attention to controlling your emotions. As long as we keep our distance, we can still avoid the stationary psychedelic demonic realms. Alright, everyone spread out and advance separately. Don't crowd together. Xiao, 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 the large group of people spread out in all directions. Junior brother Xiaofan, observe carefully first before rushing forward, Xiao Mingchu said nervously beside Xiaofan. From our point of view, the psychedelic demonic realms in front of us are very close to each other. But in reality, the gap between them is enough for us to pass through and not touch the psychedelic demonic realms. Some of the gaps are very large, at least tens of meters wide. So, don't panic, observe carefully first, and then choose the correct position. Luo Tianyu said with a serious face. It shouldn't be a big problem. How about this? Brother Xiao, the two of us will choose a path and let little brother Xiaofan follow behind us. The main thing is that these psychedelic demonic realms are motionless, so we still have a lot of confidence. After all, they are distributed in a regular pattern. As long as we look carefully, we will be able to pass through. Alright, let's pass through now. Xiaofan licked the corner of his mouth, feeling very pleased in his heart. So many psychedelic demonic realms, this is too awesome. It will be indescribably beneficial to my mental strength. As long as I am a little more careful, bold, and meticulous, I will definitely obtain great benefits. Ha 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 ha, this path to the space springboard is completely made for me, Xiaofan. Awesome. To be continued. Chapter 4:18. The large group of people spread out in all directions. With the pagoda master as the leader, everyone looked as if they were facing a great enemy. Their eyes were fixed in front of them. The space in front of them was filled with rainbows. The hallucinatory demonic realm was endless. Now, everyone had a clear idea of what to do. If they wanted to successfully pass through this area, they would have to make use of every opportunity and not get too close to these rainbows. Thus, no one acted rashly for the time being. They were all choosing the most perfect and safest path. The area in front of us is densely covered with hallucinatory demonic realm. The total length is about 5,000 miles. Xiao Mingqiu analyzed with a cold expression. It's impossible to fly in a straight line. Don't panic. Let's take a good look first. Once we're confident, we'll go around it as fast as possible. Xiaofan licked the corner of his mouth. He was very excited and looking forward to it. At this moment, I actually met a human hero from another plane. It's really fate. A cold and arrogant long howl rang out. The pagoda master quivered. He looked in the direction of the sound. The 12 elders, as well as Xiaofan and the other heroes, were also shocked. They all looked sideways. Suddenly, boom! An invisible yet substantial pressure instantly enveloped over, directly covering this part of the starry sky. Dong 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 dong, heavy footsteps rang out, trampling through the void, causing the space to tremble unceasingly. A middle-aged man wearing a scaled battle robe and a helmet. He walked over from the east. His face was expressionless. He was extremely arrogant. He looked down at the heavens. Every pore and cell in his body was releasing an aura that was close to death. With every step he took, he left a footprint in the void. His every move seemed to instill an instinctive fear in people. There was a faint red mark on his forehead, just like the pagoda master. Behind the middle-aged man in the scaled battle robe, there were about 30 to 40 old men following closely behind him. All of them were very arrogant. Among them, there were 6 old men with a faint red mark on their forehead. Behind the group of old men and women were nearly 1,000 men and women, all of them emanating unimaginably powerful true energy. Above their heads were spinning runes. They were either filled with killing intent or even more violent than the abyss of hell. Or it could freeze people's souls into ice cubes. All kinds of heart-palpitating auras were unrestrained and unrestrained. It was a large group of humans. There were over 1,000 of them. With a single glance, one could tell that the army was well-trained and well-trained. Oh no! The pagoda master's face instantly turned pale. The 12 elders were trembling like little chicks as they moved closer to the pagoda master. Xiaofan and the other heroes were also very nervous. Even the arrogant Yan Qi had a look of fear on his face. Even a fool would be able to tell that the other party's forces were ferocious. Not only were their numbers huge, their cultivation was also unbelievably powerful. Even the weakest are at the formation realm. Luo Tianyu used his mind to send a message to Xiaofan and Xiao Mingqiu in fear. Too strong. There are over 1,000 of them, and even the weakest is at the formation realm. There are also many at the true treasure realm. Xiaofan looked at this group of uninvited guests speechlessly. He was secretly surprised. These are the human heroes from other planes? They look almost the same as us. They all look like pure humans. However, their auras are much stronger than ours. TSK. Impressive. Each of them is an expert. What a shame. Originally, I thought that our plane was at least in the middle among the countless ordinary planes in the universe, although it was not the strongest. However, this is the first time I've encountered the people of other planes. Compared to them, our plane is simply trash. The difference in strength is too great. And now, the pagoda master was the clearest about the difference in strength between the two sides. The leader of the other party is a middle-aged man in a scaled battle robe. He has opened 101 true acupoints and opened the heaven eye, which is the celestial eye realm. Apart from that, the other party also has 6 celestial eye realm experts who have successfully opened the heaven eye. Moreover, the weakest among this group of people is at the level 8 formation realm. It's like the difference between heaven and earth. What should we do now? I don't know if this group of people will deal with us. It's over. If we really fight, we will be wiped out. Why is it like this? Why did we encounter such abnormal people from such a powerful plane? In Xiaofan's plane, only the pagoda master, the only immortal eye realm expert who could open the heaven eye was the pagoda master. However, the other party had as many as 7 of them, ha 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 ha. Everyone, come and take a look. These are the human heroes of other planes? Ha ha ha. The middle-aged man in the scaled battle robe kept laughing. His laughter was filled with disdain and mockery. There was also a strong sense of superiority. His gaze swept across the faces of Xiaofan's group. It was as if he was observing a group of livestock. The people behind the middle-aged man in the scaled battle robe also followed up. All of them looked at Xiaofan's group with a smile. They stretched out their fingers and pointed at them, commenting on them, "It can't be? Why are these heroes so weak? Yeah. There are only a few formation realm experts. This formation is too lame. It seems like it's a very weak plane. Ha ha ha. Actually, I'm afraid it's not that this plane is trash. It's mainly because our plane is too strong. Ha ha ha. Everyone, don't mock these weaklings. Weaklings need to be pitied. Ha ha ha. Ah, right, right. Don't mock others. It's not their fault that they are weak. However, they are so weak and yet they jumped out and wanted to get their hands on the treasures of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao. This is overestimating themselves. This group of people started to discuss unscrupulously. Weak, overestimating themselves, courting death. Many harsh words were transmitted into the ears of Xiaofan and the others. As a result, many of the heroes on Xiaofan's side were suddenly enraged. However, none of them dared to refute. How could they refute? Indeed. The other party's formation. There were more than 1,000 people. There were 7 Immortal Eye realm experts who had opened the heaven eye. All of them were above the formation realm. There were also many true treasure realm experts. This was a very obvious gap. Even if they were angry, they could only accept it. Xiaofan watched silently. Then, he sent his spirit into the hero token to communicate with Xiao Mingchu and Luo Tianyu. Eldest senior brother, big brother Luo. Are we going to have a conflict with this group of arrogant fellows? Unlucky. Really unlucky. They don't come with good intentions. Luo Tianyu quickly transmitted his voice. If we really have a conflict, we are likely to be wiped out. Forget it. Let's see how the pagoda master will deal with it. If they insist on bullying and humiliating us, we have no choice but to fight. At this moment, the pagoda master had no choice but to force a smile on his face. He took a step forward and said to the middle-aged man in scale armor. This brother. I am the hero pagoda master of this plane. May I know how to address you, brother? How dare you? Such a weak plane is like an undeveloped barbarian land. The pagoda master of this rubbish plane is just an ordinary hero in our plane. How dare you call our pagoda master brother? You are courting death. A red-bearded old man behind the middle-aged man in scale armor roared furiously. The pagoda master's face turned purple and his body was trembling. However, he forcefully endured it and did not dare to act up. Huh. You can call me wrong. The middle-aged man in the scaled armor said in a haughty tone. His voice sounded as if he was giving alms to others. He casually stood in the starry sky and his whole body seemed to be a world of its own. The surrounding space seemed to be under his control. How should I put it? I am very happy to be able to meet my kind in the vast universe. Well, the heroes of other planes, hello. The heroes of the world are a family. Hearing this, the pagoda master was relieved and nodded repeatedly. Yes, yes, the heroes of the world are a family, well. Rong flicked his fingernails. You are also going to the nearby space gangplank, right? You are lucky. There are not many dangerous places on this road. It should be relatively easy to walk all the way. Well, you should not have lost any people so far, right? This. The pagoda master was stunned. His face was full of shame. He was so embarrassed that he wished he could find a hole and hide in it. Are you serious? Looking at your expression, it seems that you really lost some people? There were deaths on such an easy road? Rong looked at his expression and let out an exaggerated scream. His face was full of a playful expression. Ha 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 ha! The large group of people behind Rong roared with laughter. The heroes beside Xiaofan lowered their heads one by one. Xiao Mingchu's shoulders trembled and his eyes seemed to be spitting fire. Eldest senior brother, calm down. Xiaofan hurriedly sent a message. We do not have enough foundation here. Let's endure for now and not be impulsive. Let them be happy first. Those who are happy first may not be able to laugh in the end. Xiaofan comforted Xiao Mingchu, but he was also very sullen. At the same time, Xiaofan once again understood the importance of strength. Without strength, there would be no so-called dignity. Without strength, one deserved to be trampled by others. I need to control enough strength. Xiaofan shouted in his heart. Ah, Xiao Mingchu was very depressed. Rong. Brother Rong. You are. The pagoda master stammered. Oh. Don't worry. I won't do anything to you. Rong said in a playful tone. This is how the universe is. There are many ordinary planes. Some are strong and some are weak. Some planes are not very suitable for cultivating true qi. Just like your plane, it can't produce any decent experts. In the vast universe, there are some planes that are very mysterious and very powerful. Just like the plane that you are in. They can easily send out a group of experts that will make your heart tremble. This time, the immortal world sent a message that before entering the genius zone, our planes are not allowed to kill each other. Yes. We are all humans. Different paths lead to the same destination. There is no need to fight each other. Don't worry, we will not bully the weak. But I will give you a piece of advice here. With your strength, even if you are lucky enough to enter the genius zone, you will only be cannon fodder. So, give up. Go back home. What? The pagoda master's body trembled. The 12 elders looked at each other. The heroes beside Xiaofan also looked at each other. Don't misunderstand. I am just giving you a piece of advice. On the way to the space springboard, if you meet any weak heroes, I will give you a piece of advice. Rong made an exaggerated expression of pity. Of course, I am just giving advice, not forcing you. Look, there is a hallucinatory demonic land in front of you. I estimate that if you want to force your way through this hallucinatory demonic land, at least half of you will die. And our side will be unharmed. Half of us will die. The pagoda master's face flashed with an unconvinced expression. Yes, at least half of us will die. You must believe in my vision and judgment. Alright, that is all I have to say. Do as you see fit. Rong shrugged and waved to the troops behind him. Come, let's go. Xiao, under Rong's lead, the troops flew forward and entered the hallucinatory demonic land. Pagoda Master, what should we do? An elder came over and asked the Pagoda Master nervously. Humph. Half of us will die. The Pagoda Master's face twisted and he growled unwillingly. Trying to scare us? Go. Forward. Everyone be careful. Xiao, the Pagoda Master rushed into the hallucinatory demonic land. Go. We can't let those fellows look down on us. If we retreat like this, we won't have the face to show our faces. A few brave heroes also entered the hallucinatory demonic land. Their side is unharmed and all of them passed. At least half of our side will die. Xiaofan rubbed his nose and an evil glint flashed through his eyes. I don't believe it. Big brother Luo, let's go. Xiaofan's body moved and he also entered the hallucinatory demonic land. To be continued. Chapter 419. Now, the people from the two plains had all entered the hallucinatory magic land area that stretched for about 5,000 miles. Xiaofan's side had more than 100 people. The other side had more than 1,000 people. They all entered separately. If it was in a stable space without any energy fluctuations, any of the demon warriors present would be able to travel more than 5,000 miles in a very short period of time. Those with especially high cultivation could teleport a few times. However, with the obstacles of the hallucinatory magic land, it was extremely difficult to fly through. They could only move forward carefully and slowly. Although everyone deliberately kept an effective distance from each hallucinatory magical realm when they were flying, there were still hallucinations and auditory hallucinations that kept hitting the brains of the chivalrous heroes like a tide. It was as if the entire space was filled with gravity and it was difficult to move. Whoosh! Xiaofan deliberately hung at the back, flying extremely slowly. This area is simply suffocating, making it hard to breathe. Waves of mental fluctuations, invisible and silent, are affecting people's minds. My mental strength is not weak, but from time to time, hallucinations appear in front of me. Xiaofan frowned. All I can hear is a mess of noises. Forget it, take the initiative to attack. Xiaofan's mind moved. The next moment, Xiaofan formed a hand seal with both hands. Buzz buzz, two hallucinatory magic land closest to Xiaofan directly condensed and teleported into Xiaofan's brain. They were refined by Xiaofan. They turned into Xiaofan's mental strength. Buzz buzz buzz, in the blink of an eye. Another three hallucinatory magic land were refined by Xiaofan without anyone noticing. This caused Xiaofan's mental strength to constantly increase. After a few hours, Xiaofan advanced about 500 miles and was at the back of the team. However, he also gained a lot. He refined a total of 123 hallucinatory magic land and transformed them all into his own mental strength. Moreover, with the increase of his mental strength, Xiaofan became more and more proficient in refining the hallucinatory magic land and was somewhat able to do as he pleased. In the beginning, Xiaofan sought stability and only chose the smaller hallucinatory magic land to refine. After his mental strength increased, he dared to attack the larger hallucinatory magic land. The hallucinatory demonic mirror is about 15 meters ahead. Come here. Xiaofan made a hand seal with his hands. The dozens of feet-long hallucinatory demonic mirror that was frozen 15 meters away from Xiaofan was immediately collected and refined by Xiaofan. Yes, Xiaofan could now capture and refine the hallucinatory demonic realm he wanted under the control of his thoughts. It felt like he could hit anything he wanted. The hallucinatory demonic mirror 50 meters ahead, come here. Xiaofan commanded. Let's talk about the other villains. At this moment, the one walking at the very front was Rong. His hands were behind his back, and his entire body was emitting faint divine light. His gaze was firm as he stared straight ahead, and the corners of his mouth curled up into a faint smile. The way he walked was very natural and unrestrained, as if he was taking a leisurely stroll in the courtyard. When he passed by the hallucinatory magical realm that was relatively close, his figure only paused for a moment before he brushed past it without much of an impact. Rong had already walked 2,500 li. Following closely behind Rong were 6 celestial realm elders from his plane who had opened their heavenly eyes. However, they had also widened the distance between them and Rong. These 6 old men had already walked about 1,500 li. They were left behind by Rong by a full 1,000 li. About 200 li behind the 6 elders was the pagoda master of Xiaofan's dimension. Behind the pagoda master of Xiaofan's dimension, almost all of them were Xiaofanists from Rong's dimension. There were only 12 elders and Yan Qi in Xiaofan's plane. They barely managed to keep up with the others. At the very back were Xiaofan and the rest of the Xiaofanists. From this, it could be deduced that everyone's strength was clear at a glance. The first group was Rong, who was far ahead of them. He had walked 2,500 li. The second group was Rong's 6 celestial vision realm subordinates who had opened their heavenly eyes and the pagoda master. The third group was all of Rong's subordinates, the 12 elders from Xiaofan's dimension, and Yan Qi. They had walked about 1,000 li. The fourth group, which was at the bottom, was Xiaofan, Xiao Mingchu, Luo Tianyu, and dozens of Xiaofanists. Everyone seemed to be secretly competing with each other, trying their best to pass through this hallucinatory demonic realm. Vaguely, the 2 groups of Xiaofanists from Rong's dimension and Xiaofan's dimension had formed a situation where they were secretly competing with each other. However, looking at the current situation, Xiaofan's dimension was indeed at a disadvantage. However, to Xiaofan, competition was secondary. Eating and refining the hallucinatory demonic realm was the way to go. Collect the hallucinatory demonic realm that is several zhang long 200 meters away. With a thought, Xiaofan formed a hand seal with both hands and directly collected the hallucinatory demonic realm that was several zhang long 200 meters away from him. He refined it into his brain and turned it into nourishment for his mental strength. My mental strength is getting stronger and stronger. Xiaofan was very excited. I can take the hallucinatory demonic realm that is a few hundred meters away. Moreover, after refining hundreds of hallucinatory demonic realms, my mental strength has increased by a few times. I wonder how many spiritual finger seals I can complete now. I wonder if I can liquefy my mental strength. Xiaofan's heart was itching. However, under these circumstances, it was not the best time to cultivate the extinguishing heaven decimating earth mental technique. I'll first accumulate enough mental strength in my boundless sea of consciousness. Then, if I have the chance, I'll cultivate the extinguishing heaven decimating earth mental technique. Xiaofan also made up his mind. Refine. The more hallucinatory demonic realms I refine, the more benefits it will bring me. Just at this moment. A few hundred meters away from Xiaofan, a Xiaofanist who was flying in front suddenly stopped moving. This was a female Xiaofanist, a gentle young married woman with a cultivation of the 7th level talisman transformation realm. Xiaofan knew. Her name was Hu Xingxing. Suddenly. It was Hu Xingxing. A strange sound came from her throat. At the same time, her entire body started to tremble violently. The clarity in her eyes instantly became confused. Ah! No, don't. Please don't sully this concubine. Master. Please don't sully this concubine. No. Master, you can't. You can't. Hu Xingxing actually let out a terrified shriek. She was panting and her face became crimson red. In the blink of an eye. Her hands actually started to vigorously rub the bulge in front of her chest. Hiss, Hu Xingxing tore off a piece of her clothes, revealing her snow-white skin. No. Master, please take pity on this concubine. Don't be like this. Hu Xingxing screamed at the top of her lungs. Wang wang wang, a few hallucinatory demonic realms moved towards Hu Xingxing. This is bad. The people on our side have finally lost control of their minds. That Hu Xingxing is in danger. Her emotions have already gone out of control. Xiaofan's heart tightened. Finally, there's a problem on our side. In reality, Xiaofan also knew that the Xiationists of his plane were not easy. It wasn't easy to pass through this hallucinatory demonic realm unscathed. Master. No. No. Don't treat this concubine like this. Hu Xingxing violently screamed. Protect your mind. Hu Xingxing. Wake up. The Xiationists beside Hu Xingxing all cried out in fear. At this moment, ha, you finally can't hold on anymore, right? A few of the Xiationists from the plane of Rong turned around and looked at the out-of-control Hu Xingxing mockingly. Lord Rong said that at least half of the Xiationists of this trash plane would die if they rashly passed through this hallucinatory demonic realm. Now, the first one has already lost control of his emotions and his soul has collapsed. He's not far from death. Yes, this area is 5,000 li long. The limit of most of them should be 1,000 to 2,500 li. Now, there should be deaths one after another. A sharp-faced Xiationist from the plane of Rong mocked. Every one of them is like a clown. They didn't listen to Lord Rong's advice and insisted on courting death. They can't blame anyone. The Xiationists born in this undeveloped plane are like ants. It's best if all of them die so that we don't get annoyed looking at them. Roar. Master. Master, you're too vicious. Hu Xingxing convulsed and spat out white foam. She kept scratching at her body. Her clothes were peeled off piece by piece, revealing her snow-white jade-like skin. Hu Xingxing. Finally, there were 3 male Xiationists who wanted to rush over to help Hu Xingxing. All of a sudden. Demon race. Bold demon race. How dare you kill the common people of the human race? Kill. Exterminate the demons. When these 3 male Xiationists pounced on Hu Xingxing, they seemed to have lost control of their minds because of their concern. Their minds were exposed, and their gazes became ruthless and cruel. Their murderous aura shot out, and they all roared out. Wang wang wang, more than 10 hallucinatory demonic realms took advantage of the situation and rushed towards the 3 male Xiationists. Ha. 3 more bedevilment. Ha. A large group of Xiationists from the plane of Rong turned around and laughed loudly. 4 died at once. Ha. In this way, if this continues, more and more will die. Awesome. I hope they all die along the way, all of them die. Ha. Bullsh *T. You guys are gloating over our misfortune. We are all human Xiationists. How dare you curse us so viciously? The Xiationists from Xiaofan's plane of Rong could no longer hold it in. They all pointed their fingers and cursed, gritting their teeth. However, these angry Xiationists suddenly lost control. It was already extremely difficult to guard their minds and defend against the endless hallucinatory demonic realms. Now that they were distracted, they were immediately taken advantage of by the hallucinatory demonic realms. In an instant, another 3 Xiationists' minds were filled with illusions, and they were completely bedeviled. In other words, including Hu Xingxing, there were 7 Xiationists from Xiaofan's plane of bedevilment. The situation was extremely dangerous. The pagoda master who was in front could not do anything about it. He could only watch helplessly as his subordinates were bedeviled. His eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. Walk your own path. Don't care about them. After being bedeviled, others can't help you. You can only rely on yourself. Don't bother, or you will also be bedeviled. Yes, once a person was bedeviled, he could only rely on himself to break free. He could not rely on others. And at this time, Xiaofan, damn it, you're looking forward to our men turning into demons and dying one by one. I won't let you get what you want. Xiaofan took a deep breath, and moved forward without making a sound. His hands continued to weave seals. Xiao, the hallucinatory demonic realms that were supposed to corrode the souls of those bedeviled Xiaofanists were collected by Xiaofan one by one. These hallucinatory demonic realms were instantly condensed and flew into Xiaofan's brain at the speed of teleportation. Therefore, no one present could see any flaws. Of course, it was also because everyone had to divide their attention to resist the hallucinatory demonic realms and could not be distracted to observe carefully. This allowed Xiaofan to capture those hallucinatory demonic realms without anyone noticing. The dozens of hallucinatory demonic realms that were lingering around Hu Xingxing and the other 6 Xiaofanists were all absorbed by Xiaofan. Next, the scattered pupils of Hu Xingxing and the other 6 Xiaofanists focused again. They gradually regained their consciousness. What happened? Just now. What happened to us just now? This? The 7 of them cried out in horror. Thank the heavens. The hallucinatory demonic realms near your bodies suddenly disappeared. The group of Xiaofanists at the side let out a long sigh of relief. Alright, it's fine now. Be careful, you almost died just now. Luck, it's really luck. What happened? They actually didn't die. The large group of Xiaofanists under Rong all let out dissatisfied hisses. What bullshit luck. Damn it, they still didn't die. Those hallucinatory demonic realms that could take their lives actually evaporated by themselves. Damn it. This group of pigs, they must have stepped on dog shit. However, there are still a few thousand miles left. I don't believe that they will still have such good luck. Humph. They will definitely all die. These weak and lowly fellows. Today, this young master is going all out with you bastards. As long as I'm here, none of our men will die. But you guys. Humph. Xiaofan calmly refined the hallucinatory demonic realms in his sea of consciousness while letting out a sinister sneer. To be continued. Chapter 420. This extinguishing heaven decimating earth mental technique was indeed a work of the gods. It could refine the hallucinatory magic realm into nothingness. Without a sound. Without anyone noticing. Even someone as strong as Rong did not discover that it was Xiaofan who was playing tricks. Heroes of this plane, pay attention and focus. This hallucinatory magic realm is 5,000 miles long. With your strength, passing the first 4,000 miles is as easy as flipping your hand. But the last 1,000 miles is a bit difficult. But, as long as you do not have any distractions, it will not be difficult for you. You don't have to ask about anything else. The life and death of those small fries has nothing to do with us. Rong turned around and gave the order. Yes. Lord Rong. The heroes of Rong's plane all received the order and held their breaths as they continued to advance. I have to be careful in these last 1,000 li. Rong Xing walked at the very front. His gait was still incomparably free and unrestrained, light like the clouds and breezes, but his speed of advancement was slightly slower than before. The heroes of Rong's plane no longer provoked the heroes of Xiaofan's plane. They focused and resisted the hallucinatory magic realm. The heroes of Xiaofan's plane were far weaker than the heroes of Rong's plane. Thus, when they advanced 2,000 to 3,000 miles, they all showed signs of difficulty. Apart from Xiao Mingchu, Luo Tianyu, and a few others at the 8th level True Qi formation realm, as well as Yan Qi, the only ancient giant, the remaining people at the 7th level True Qi formation realm all had tense expressions. The muscles on their faces twisted. It was obvious that they were being disturbed by the illusions and could not keep calm. They were doing their best to resist. Cousin, why do you want to kill me? I have always been good to you. How can you not remember our past friendship, and set up this sinister trap, to harm me?" A strong middle-aged man suddenly knelt on the ground with a red face. His shoulders trembled. He started to cry. This person's mind could no longer hold on. Finally, a flaw appeared and the hallucinatory magic realm took advantage of it. He was possessed. This was extremely dangerous. If he could not rely on his strong will to walk out, then his soul would definitely collapse and he would harm himself to death. At the same time, water. Water source. I have already walked in this desert for 10 days and 10 nights without a drop of water. I did not think that I would finally find a water source. Ha ha ha. The heavens really don't want me to die. Another purple-clothed youth said. His eyes were filled with fanaticism and obsession. He knelt on the ground, raised his head, and crawled towards a thick hallucinatory magical mirror near him. Water. Sweet dew. A life-saving water source. Some of the fiends on Xiaofan's side couldn't hold on any longer and fell deeply into the devil's path. **T. Some of the nearby chivalrous men roared anxiously in a low voice. But in this situation, they were helpless and did not dare to go over to help. After all, if he was not careful, he could also fall into the enemy's hands. "You still have to rely on me." Xiaofan was always paying attention to the chivalrous hero of his plane. Once there was an emergency, he would not be able to help. Xiaofan would make his move. Wang, all the hallucinatory demonic realms around the two demonized heroes were absorbed by Xiaofan. He had refined it into his soul. The bodies of the two possessed heroes shook, and their eyes gradually regained clarity. Just like this, Xiaofan acted as a scavenger along the way. Whenever the demon hero of his plane fell into the devil's path, Xiaofan would make his move immediately and absorb and refine the hallucinatory demonic realms that troubled them. As a result, everyone was safe and sound, and there was no danger. In the blink of an eye, all the demon heroes of Xiaofan's plane had successfully passed the 3,000 li stage and were advancing towards 4,000 li. No one was injured. It can't be, right? In front of them, the chivalrous knight from that dimension also noticed the situation behind them. All of them couldn't believe it. The ants of that weak plane can actually continue to advance and all of them have rushed past the 3,000 li barrier. How is this possible? The most ridiculous thing is that they still have 0 casualties. It's really beyond my expectations. Luck. Their luck is too good. I've noticed that every time those pigs lose control of their minds and fall deeply into the devil's path, the hallucinatory demonic realms around them would mysteriously disappear, allowing them to be saved and break free from the devil's path. Could it be that someone is secretly helping them? Ha ha ha. This is impossible. Don't make wild guesses. Even the tower master of that plane can't destroy the hallucinatory demonic realm here and send help. The hallucinatory demonic realm belongs to the spiritual energy flow. No matter how strong the attack is, it can't destroy the hallucinatory demonic realm. To destroy the hallucinatory demonic realm, you can only use your own spiritual energy to disperse it. But who dares? Using one's own spiritual energy to disperse all kinds of chaotic hallucinatory demonic realms in this vast universe is tantamount to courting death. It's staining one's flawless spiritual energy with dirt, and one will definitely fall into the devil's path. I can only say that it's luck. A few hours passed. All the demon heroes of Xiaofan's plane had entered the 4,000 li area. 0 deaths. Of course, if I didn't secretly make a move, at least 30 people on our side should have died. After entering the 4,000 li area, the death rate will rise. Xiaofan secretly nodded. That plane's Rong said that at least half of the demon heroes of our plane will die if they want to pass through this hallucinatory demonic realm. It seems that what he said is not wrong. However, with me around, everything has changed. In order to save the demon heroes of this plane who fell into the devil's path, Xiaofan didn't know how many hallucinatory demonic realms he had devoured. It could be said that he was extremely busy. However, he didn't feel tired at all. Instead, he felt refreshed and full of spirit. Inner brain domain. The spiritual energy in the brain domain was already extremely dense. Not only did it increase in size, but its density also increased. It emitted a golden light. The gaseous spiritual energy began to show obvious signs of liquefaction. Within the gaseous golden spiritual energy mist, some densely packed water droplets appeared. On these spiritual energy water droplets, incomparably complicated golden mysterious patterns were engraved. The golden mysterious patterns emitted rays of glazed light. They emitted the aura of the great Tao. There are signs of liquefaction. Xiaohan's spirit was very excited. The improvement is too great. The improvement is really too great. If I were to cultivate in seclusion, I don't know how many years it would take. Only then would I be able to refine spiritual energy. To be able to refine to such a degree. And now, passing through these hallucinatory demonic realms, is a great opportunity. A great opportunity. Wang, Xiaofan formed a seal with both of his hands, and a dozen miles away, a hallucinatory demonic realm that was entangled with a female demon hero was pulled over. Now, I can control the hallucinatory demonic realm within 100 miles as I wish. I can capture and absorb it as I wish. Moreover, after my spiritual energy improved greatly, I can move the position of these hallucinatory demonic realm. The corner of Xiaohan's mouth drew a faint smile of satisfaction. With a thought, the hallucinatory demonic realm on the right of Xiao Mingchu actually teleported 100 miles away, completely distancing itself from Xiao Mingchu. Of course, Xiao Mingchu didn't notice this at all. His expression was extremely focused. In short, in this hallucinatory demonic realm area, not only was Xiaohan not harmed in the slightest. Instead, he had the feeling of a fish in water. 4,000 to 5,000 miles area. The last part of the journey to pass through this hallucinatory demonic realm. It was also the most densely distributed, largest, most dangerous, and most prone to bedevilment in the hallucinatory demonic realm. In this area, Rong had already traveled about 4,800 miles. He was only 200 miles away from reaching the end, and successfully passing through. About 200 miles behind Rong were the 6 celestial vision realm elders from his plane who had opened their heavenly eyes. About 50 miles behind the 6 elders was the pagoda master of Xiaohan's plane. Behind the pagoda master, almost all of them were demon heroes from Rong's plane. There were only 12 elders and Yan Qi in Xiaohan's plane. They barely managed to keep up with the others. Hanging at the back were Xiaohan and the rest of the demon heroes. However, everyone had entered the 4,000 to 5,000 mile zone. At this point, in reality, the distance between each demon hero had already been relatively close. In other words, thousands of people were slowly moving in this 1,000 miles area at the speed of a turtle. Including Rong, their movement speed was rather slow. They didn't dare to make the slightest mistake. Moreover, everyone had different degrees of hallucination and auditory hallucination. Humph. Just as Yan Qi's eyes were in a trance, he bit the tip of his tongue and shook his head violently, breaking free from the hallucination. However, although he didn't become a demon, cold sweat seeped out of his forehead. This area was indeed too dangerous. The demon heroes from Xiaohan's plane were constantly becoming demons, and they were in imminent danger. Fortunately, Xiaohan, the firefighter, was very outstanding. At critical moments, he would always be able to absorb the hallucinatory demonic realm and save the demon heroes from danger. Later on, Xiaohan could predict in advance that every demon hero might encounter the hallucinatory demonic realm along the way. He had already absorbed and refined them, clearing the obstacles. This caused the probability of the demon heroes from Xiaofan's plane becoming demons to be greatly reduced. Shockingly, ahead, about 4,300 miles away, a female demon hero from Rong's plane suddenly stopped. Then, goo 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 goo, a strange sound burst out from her throat. Her shoulders trembled. Monster! No, don't come over, I'll kill you. The female demon hero let out a violent panting sound. Bedeviled. Their powerful plane finally has a demon hero bedeviled. The demon heroes from Xiaofan's plane couldn't help but look over. This was the first time the demon hero from Rong's plane had been bedeviled. Let's see how they deal with it. The demon hero from Xiaofan's plane was also very curious. Qiushu, don't be nervous. With your temperament, you'll definitely be able to defeat the demon barrier. A few of the companions near the bedeviled female demon hero hurriedly encouraged her. Protect your mind. Roar. The bedeviled female demon hero suddenly pulled out a dagger from her bosom and stabbed it into her left arm. Blood spurted out. However, her scattered pupils regained focus. Phew, that was so dangerous. I was bedeviled just now and had an illusion. I actually saw many lewd monsters. The female demon hero let out a sigh of relief. Ha ha ha. It's okay. Her companions all laughed. This plane of ours will definitely have 0 deaths. Moreover, we won the hallucinatory demonic realm by relying on our strong temperament, not by luck like the ants in that trash plane. The next moment, another hallucinatory demonic realm moved towards the female demon hero. This caused her to be in a trance again. It's another monster, haha. It's okay. Her companions simply crossed their arms. Qiushu will definitely be able to turn danger into safety again and defeat the demonic realm. Oh. Your plane has 0 deaths. It can defeat the demon barrier? I don't think so. At this moment, Xiaofan's courage grew. He quietly moved forward and moved his mind. Under the control of Xiaofan's mind, the dozen or so hallucinatory demonic realms around the female demon hero's body instantly rushed towards the female demon hero as if they had teleported. Ah! Monster! Don't take off my clothes! Don't! Ugly thing, you still want to defile me? Kill! Kill! I'll kill you all! Suddenly, the female chivalrous warrior let out a hysterical roar. Pucci! 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 With lightning speed, she tore off all her clothes, revealing her white jade-like female body. Not a single piece of clothing was on. For a moment, the ups and downs were too beautiful to behold. The lush peaks, the tight buttocks, the luxuriant grass, all of them were unscrupulously exposed. However, the female demon hero had already completely lost herself and did not care. No! Don't enter my body! No! Pooh! 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 In the blink of an eye, the female demon hero raised the knife in her hand and slashed it down. The dagger continuously stabbed her smooth body dozens of times. Pooh, 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 streams of blood shot out from her body. Kill! Kill! Kill all of you bastards! The female demon hero's face was ferocious and terrifying. Suddenly, she raised her right hand and with a flash of true chi, she slapped her own head. Bang! The head exploded into pieces. Death! An 8th-level true chi practitioner, a talisman formation realm expert, died just like that. She committed suicide. The scene was horrifying and silent. This woman. I don't know if I killed her. Xiaofan rubbed his nose helplessly. I didn't want it to be like this either. However, the idiots from your plane are too arrogant. To be continued. Chapter 421. In Rong's plane, there was a female Taoist. Unfortunately, she lost control of her mind and emotions in the thick hallucinatory demonic land of 4,000 to 5,000 miles. In the end, she mutilated herself and died tragically. This was the first person from the two planes to die in the hallucinatory demonic realm. What a surprise! It was definitely an accident. Rong's dimension's Wuxia had a strong army and strong horses, causing Rong to affirm that the people from his dimension would definitely pass through this hallucinatory demonic land without a single casualty. At the same time, Rong also said with certainty that at least half of the demons from Xiaofan's dimension had died. And at this time, the one who died was the evil hero from the Rong plane, sarcasm. A slap in the face. What's going on? Why did Xiao Shu die? Damn it! Every time the villains of that rubbish plane were besieged by the hallucinatory demonic land, they could always rely on luck to turn the situation around. But our plane's comprehensive strength is many times stronger than that rubbish plane. Why don't our people have this kind of luck? For a moment, the heroes of the Rong plane all roared at the sky in anger. Each of them glared at the chivalrous heroes from Xiaofan's dimension with murderous eyes, as if they felt deeply insulted. They couldn't wait to rush up and besiege the chivalrous heroes from Xiaofan's dimension to kill them to vent their anger. As for the fiendish heroes from Xiaofan's world, they were all secretly pleased. This feels so good. The people on their side were all dead. Ha ha ha. Along the way, they looked down on us and verbally insulted us. They even said that we would have endless casualties. It was all right now. The first to die. It's the vigilante from their side. It's so cool. The great swordsman on Xiaofan's side couldn't help but have a carefree smile on his face. Damn it! How dare you laugh? On the Rong plane, a burly man like an iron tower stepped out. His face was vicious and filled with hatred. Stretching out a finger, he pointed at the heroes from Xiaofan's dimension. A bunch of animals. Seeing the heroes from our dimension die, not only are you not mourning, you're even laughing. You're courting death, do you know that? Humph. Xiao Mingchu could no longer hold it in and immediately retorted sarcastically. That woman died in the hallucinatory demonic realm. She committed suicide. What does it have to do with our plane? What are you blabbering on about? Impudent. An insignificant and lowly existence dared to talk back. This was a heinous crime. They should all be executed. Xiao Shu was dead. All of you ants should be buried with him. The chivalrous warriors of the Rong plane were all enraged. Their murderous intent soared to the 9 heavens, and their figures involuntarily surrounded Xiao Mingchu and the chivalrous warriors behind him. A gang fight seemed inevitable. In this tense situation, countless hallucinatory demonic lands were activated from all directions, emitting decadent sounds. The entire area was filled with a sorrowful scene of dusk, as if the sun was setting in the west, and the god of death had arrived. Ah! In this way, many mentally unstable chivalrous men suddenly screamed in pain. All kinds of illusions formed a spiritual storm and fiercely attacked their souls. Even dozens of chivalrous men from the Rong plane let out low and miserable howls. Their bodies convulsed uncontrollably. Eldest senior brother, calm down. The hallucinatory demonic lands produced murderous intent and anger. The turbulence in the lake of your heart is just right for the hallucinatory demonic lands to take advantage of. It's not good for you. Xiaohan hurriedly moved to Xiao Mingchu's side. At this moment, Xiao Mingchu's face was red, and his veins were bulging. He tried his best to endure. His body was shivering, and his eyes were slightly dazed. Xiaohan moved to Xiao Mingchu's side and absorbed all the hallucinatory demonic lands, reducing the pain in Xiao Mingchu's soul. Xiao Mingchu's eyes then became clear again. Phew, thank you for your reminder, junior brother. I almost fell into a trance just now. Xiao Mingchu said with lingering fear. However, he quickly said unwillingly. The chivalrous warriors of that plane are too fierce and domineering. They bully the weak and want to vent their anger on us. I can't stand it anymore. Eldest senior brother, don't argue with them. Let's get out of this area first. Heh. From what I see, I'm afraid many of them will die next. Xiaofan smiled mysteriously. This? Xiao Mingchu was stunned. Why do you say that? The people on their side are indeed tyrannical. It's unlikely that they will fall one after another in this area. Their luck is not good. Xiaofan said mysteriously. Eldest senior brother, luck exists in the unseen world. They are too strong. Things will move in the opposite direction when they reach an extreme. Who knows, misfortune will fall on their heads one after another. Ha ha ha. Of course, this is just my opinion. It's just a random guess. At this moment. Everyone, stay calm. One of the chivalrous warriors on Rong's side saw that the atmosphere was not right. His companions on his side were losing their emotions due to rage and showed signs of falling into a trance. He hurriedly shouted. All right, let's not bother with those beasts for now. There are still a few hundred miles to the destination. It's extremely dangerous. If we are not careful, we will also fail miserably like Qiu Shu. Let's keep our hearts calm. Don't let this group of beasts affect our hearts. Let's go through this hallucinatory magic land first. Then, we'll deal with this group of bastards. At that time, we can ravage them however we want. It doesn't matter if we kill them all. It's like killing dogs. All right. Let's not care about these bastards first. Let's rush out of this damned hallucinatory magic land first. All the chivalrous warriors on Rong's side reinvigorated their spirits, stabilized their souls, and focused their minds. They dispelled the hallucinatory magic land and continued to move forward. They've gone too far. Luo Tianyu, who was on Xiaohan's side, was also furious. They challenged us so brazenly. They called us beasts and bastards. Do they really not treat us as humans? They even threaten to kill us once we get out of this hallucinatory magic land? I've cultivated for my entire life. I've never encountered such an aggrieved situation like today. Now it's bad. An old and prudent chivalrous warrior said with a worried face. If that's the case, we become enemies with that group of powerful fellows. What should we do? We'll deal with it when it comes. Xiaohan took a step forward. Things have come to this. It's useless to be afraid. Moreover, if we plant negative emotions in our hearts, it will not be beneficial for us to complete the last part of the journey. Everyone braced themselves. No matter what, let's get out of here first. Being trapped here to death is the most aggrieving. Let's go. Xiaohan led the way. Although the chivalrous warriors of this plain were not as strong as the chivalrous warriors of the Rong plain, they had at least survived through wind and rain. They had cultivated for their entire lives. Hearing Xiaohan's words, they also analyzed the pros and cons. All of them abandoned the worries and distracting thoughts in their hearts and continued to move forward. The speed of their advance was as slow as a snail. The closer they got to the end, the more dangerous the hallucinatory magic land they encountered. Every time they walked a certain distance, there would be signs of becoming bewitched. It was extremely difficult. Even the relatively stronger Xiao Mingchu, Luo Tianyu, and a few other experts of the true Qi formation realm were now on tenterhooks. Fortunately, with Xiaohan, the Thanani, he could always resolve the crisis to the greatest extent. Thus, no one on their side became completely bewitched. Unknowingly, Xiaohan had walked to the front of his team. He was only about 100 li away from the chivalrous warriors of the Rong plain. This group of arrogant fellows. Xiaohan looked at the large group of people in front of him with a gloomy gaze. Waves of uncontrollable killing intent rose from Xiaofan's heart. It seems that killing one is not enough punishment for you. You actually dare to say that you want to trample on us. Alright, I'm going all out. I might as well go all out. I'll suppress your arrogance. Having made up his mind, Xiaofan's mental strength moved slightly in the next moment. Wang wang wang, dozens of hallucinatory magic lands were controlled by Xiaofan's mental strength. They actually took the initiative to teleport towards the chivalrous warriors of the Rhone Plain in front of them. Roar! Four chivalrous warriors of the Rhone Plain instantly stopped in their tracks. They all bent down and let out painful whimpers from their throats. No. Master, please don't expel me from the sect. Senior Sister Mo, I was wrong to sully you in the past. It's fine if you die, but don't let your ghost haunt me. Heavenless Demon Emperor, you killed my entire family. I will not let you go so easily. This time, I will definitely obtain an immortal opportunity to increase my cultivation in the genius zone. In the future, I will fight you to the death. These four chivalrous warriors were possessed by demons. Let me add fuel to the fire for you. Xiaofan's mind flickered again, and dozens of thick hallucinatory demonic mirrors charged towards the four demonized swordsmen at the speed of lightning. Ah! Kill! Kill! You damned demon clans! Kill! Soon, the four chivalrous warriors became frenzied and started killing each other. Their fists landed on each other's flesh. They actually treated each other as their mortal enemies and wanted to fight to the death. Bang! 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 In an instant, the four of them collided with each other and their heads all exploded. Another four chivalrous warriors of the Rhone Plain had fallen. This time, the chivalrous warriors of the Rhone Plain all roared in fear. As for the chivalrous warriors of Xiaofan's plain, they wanted to laugh but could not. They were both delighted and confused. Junior Martial Brother Xiaofan, this is something I don't understand. Xiao Mingchu came over with a confused expression and said to Xiaofan. The people on our side are weak and their mental state is not as good as theirs. However, every time we encounter danger, we can always escape by some strange coincidence. The hallucinatory magic lands that are bothering us disappear automatically. As for them, the hallucinatory magic lands that are surrounding us seem to have grown eyes and keep pestering them until they die. I can't understand it. I can't understand it. Is it really the luck that Junior Martial Brother Xiaofan mentioned? Ha ha ha. Heaven's retribution. If they want to blame someone, they can only blame themselves for being too arrogant and lawless. It's not that the time has not come yet. Ha ha ha. Xiaofan laughed complacently, but his heart was very vicious. There are still a few hundred miles to go. This daddy will kill them one by one. The Rhone Plain was in a collective mourning. They all stopped and cursed and scolded, but there was nothing they could do. Rhone roared and urged them to hurry up. They continued to hurry up. No! The Demon Clan Army. The Demon Clan Army has captured our Wuxia Pagoda. The Wuxia Pagoda that is known to never fall has finally been trampled by the Demon Clan. From now on, our human clan will never see the light of day and will never be able to rise again. The doomsday is coming. The doomsday is coming. A total of 5 demon heroes on the Rhone Plain were forcibly destroyed by the dense and thick hallucinatory magic lands, causing them to fall into an illusion of despair. Bang! 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 The 5 demon heroes all died by smashing their own heads. Soon, 7 demon heroes on the Rhone Plain roared violently, barked and roared, and all of them died by smashing their heads. The chivalrous army of the Rhone Plain exploded their heads one after another and killed themselves by self-mutilation. In just a short period of 2 hours, a total of 42 demon heroes had died in the Rhone Plain. It was a heavy loss. Of course, this was all done by Xiaofan. Why is it like this? Lord Rong. Why is it like this? Why are our people dying one after another? They died so miserably. Didn't you say that with our formation, we would definitely be able to pass through this area without any casualties? Despair and helplessness finally deeply gripped the thousands of demon heroes on the Rong plain. They felt as if they were in a nightmare and could not get rid of it. Fear spread like a plague. It caused those true treasure realm demon heroes to burst into tears. Their faces were filled with bad luck. A huge flaw appeared in their minds and a terrible shadow was planted in them. Bang! 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 Another 12 demon heroes died by smashing their own heads. Oh! These 12 were not indirectly killed by this young master. Xiaofan laughed mockingly from behind. Now, their minds are all decadent. Their fighting spirit is leaving them bit by bit, causing them to become desperate clowns. Cowards. Their mental defense power is plummeting. The hallucinatory magic lands took advantage of this and smashed their souls. Ha ha ha. If this goes on, they will be finished. All of them will be finished. Ha ha ha. They might be wiped out. Useless things. A bunch of useless things. At the crucial moment, a true treasure realm cultivator from the Rong plain stepped forward and berated. Don't give up. All of you, keep your spirits up. Only dozens of people have died. Our troops are still at their peak. After entering the genius area, we can still compete with the demon heroes from other planes. All of you, hold on. Stand up one by one. Walk out. Walk out of this area. The resolute attitude of this expert and his strong spirit affected the demon heroes who were kneeling on the ground. Their fighting spirit was ignited in their eyes again. However, boom, hundreds of hallucinatory magic lands suddenly condensed into a dragon-like mental attack wave and instantly blasted into the brain of the true Chi realm demon hero. Ah! The demon hero screamed. He raised his right hand and slammed it on his forehead. His whole body exploded like porcelain. You still dare to come out and lecture me? You are courting death. Xiaofan touched his nose. At the same time, Xiaofan looked inside his brain. Countless raindrops were brewed in the gaseous mental power. The density of the mental power was very high. It was as if the whole gaseous mental power could liquefy at any time. I have refined so many hallucinatory magic lands. I am like a fish in water in this area. I can do whatever I want. I have indirectly killed many powerful demon heroes from other planes. If I am not wrong, as long as I cultivate the follow-up mental technique of the exterminating heaven and earth mental technique, about 99% of my mental power can liquefy. Xiaohan's heart was burning. P.S. Today, I went to line up and took the first test. Today was my second wedding anniversary with my wife. Tonight, we had dinner together with our family and drank 2 glasses of wine. Now, my head is a little dizzy. Sorry, there's only one. From tomorrow onwards, there shouldn't be so many trivial matters. I'll update it properly. To be continued. Chapter 422. In the 5,000-mile-long hallucinatory demonic land. At this time, for the Rong Plains troops, the situation had completely collapsed. Nearly 60 Wuxia had died a violent death. Each and every one of them had turned into demons and exploded their heads. Most of these 60 fallen Wuxia were at the True Chi 8th level Talisman Formation realm, but there were also a few at the True Chi 9th level True Treasure realm. Yes, the Rong Plain was very powerful and full of talents. It was far from being comparable to the withered situation of Xiaohan's plain. This time, The Rhone Plain had selected a total of 1,000 great Taoists who were under 10,000 years old and had powerful cultivation bases to enter the genius zone. The lineup was so magnificent that it was astounding. But, in a short period of time, dozens of people had died. This was also a great loss of vitality. No matter how powerful a plane was, it would never complain about having too many talents. The death of a true talent was a loss that was hard to make up for. For example, the dozens of dead Wuxia of the Rhone Plain. Each of them was a great figure selected from billions of martial artists. They were geniuses among geniuses and outstanding martial artists of the same age. Each of them was a treasure. Damn it! At this moment, Rhone, who was walking at the front, felt restless in his heart as well. His face that was like jade instantly darkened, and he finally turned around as he gnashed his teeth and spoke with an evil tone that was close to cursing. Damn it! Dozens of people died on our side. But that trash plane has no one. How ironic. What a great irony. Any one of us who dies here would be an invincible figure in their plane. Someone is playing tricks. Or the heavens are unfair. As he said. Rhone walked back. Lord Rhone. This matter is too strange. Lord Rhone, please deal with the situation in time and stabilize the morale. Some elders of the Rhone Plain bowed respectfully. I will deal with this matter, Rhone said coldly. When Rhone passed by the Tower Master of Xiaofan's plane, he stopped and glanced at the Tower Master. Boom! Under Rhone's torch-like gaze, a large area of the void was destroyed and evaporated. Even many hallucinatory demonic land. Under Rhone's mental fluctuations, everything froze. Rhone Yi's glare caused the Tower Master's legs to weaken. His mind seemed to be on the verge of exploding, and he immediately prostrated himself on the ground. It has nothing to do with me, Rhone, calm down. This matter has nothing to do with our plane. Trust me, with my cultivation, it's absolutely impossible for me to make use of the hallucinatory demonic territory's environment. Assassinating your people. This is impossible. Even immortals wouldn't be able to use the hallucinatory demonic realm to kill people. Unless it's an immortal emperor. Under the pressure of Rhone's rage. In the face of such incisive killing intent, the pagoda master was terrified. He actually put down his dignity as a leader and begged for an explanation. This caused the 12 elders, Yan Qi, Xiaofan, Xiao Mingchu, and the others to feel extremely humiliated. Humph. After hearing the pagoda master's words, Rhone suddenly pondered for a moment. Yes, the hallucinatory demonic realm is a kind of energy flow in the universe. It's a spiritual fragment. Even if a person from an ordinary plane cultivated his true qi to the point of opening 101 true acupoints and successfully opened the heavenly eye, it was absolutely impossible for him to control the hallucinatory demonic realm. Not to mention ordinary people, even ordinary immortals couldn't do it. Only immortal emperors had such a method. It seemed that it wasn't the trash of this plane who was playing tricks. They didn't have the courage to do so. Forget it, I'll stabilize the situation first. When I leave this area, I'll think of a way to kill all the living beings of this trash plane. Damn it. This group of trash must be feeling very good right now, right? An existence that was countless times stronger than them actually died in front of their eyes. Because of the demonic transformation, my subordinates even made a fool of themselves before they died. They must be very happy to see that, right? Humph. All of them must die. If I don't kill them, I won't be able to vent my anger. In a very short time, a resolute killing intent brewed in Rhone's heart. However, the stronger the killing intent in his heart, the kinder the expression on his face became. Ha ha ha. Brother, I'm sorry for my rudeness. I lost control of my emotions just now, so my tone was too harsh. Thinking about it carefully, it's true that our people died in the hallucinatory demonic realm. It has nothing to do with your people. Ha ha ha. It's alright, everyone is harmonious. It's all the fault of our demon heroes. Their minds weren't firm enough. If they died, then so be it. It's all their fault. Ha ha ha. After saying that, Rong went straight to the demon heroes of his plane. Ha! The pagoda master was directly confused by Rong's change of attitude. But he was not a fool. What's going on? Why is this Rong talking to me in such a polite tone? It's weird. There must be something wrong when things are abnormal. As for the elders of Rong's plane, each and every one of them had an expression of ridicule in their eyes. They all knew Rong's temper very well. Whenever Rong spoke with a smile, or even took the initiative to be humble and compliment others, it also meant that in Rong's heart, this person had already been sentenced to death. The people of this trash plane are all finished. It seems that Lord Rong has made up his mind to kill them. Good, very good. Now, Lord Rong should already be thinking about how to ravage and kill them. The elders under Rong smiled and transmitted their voices to each other. Soon, Rong came to the side of his demon heroes. He said coldly, "All of you, cheer up. In the hallucinatory demonic realm, once you have negative emotions and once a shadow grows in your heart, it means that you are not far from death. Well, I will personally supervise the formation and advance with you. You are all the most powerful geniuses of this plane. Your minds are as solid as iron and indestructible. I believe that you can definitely defeat these hallucinatory demonic realm. Let's go." Encouragement. Encouragement from the leader of the plane. A kind of spiritual power was transmitted out, causing the panic in the eyes of the originally depressed demon heroes to melt. Instead, it was replaced by renewed confidence. "Great Lord Rong. Please rest assured. We will definitely sweep away the decline and defeat the demons in our hearts. Defeat this hallucinatory demonic realm area. I absolutely believe in you. Let's go." Rong gave the order. Then, his cold gaze swept over Xiaofan and the others. His gaze seemed to have substance. Like an invisible sharp blade. It was full of intimidation and pressure. Suddenly, he smiled strangely. "Huh, you're all not bad. You are indeed very good. I dare say that if you want to pass through this area, the death rate will be at least more than half. But, you are too outstanding. So far, no one has died. Instead, our plane has lost a lot of people. Good. Continue to work hard. Ha ha ha, continue to work hard. I wish you all can successfully pass, ha ha ha." After saying that, Rong turned around and led the demon heroes of his plane toward the finish line. Xiaofan and the others stood in place, a little dumbfounded. Junior brother Xiaofan. Is this guy being sarcastic? Xiao Mingchu said in a daze. I also feel that his mood is a little off. In short, he is definitely not encouraging us. It's like a curse. Luo Tianyu was also doubtful. Sigh. Xiaofan sighed. If I'm not wrong, that Rong is likely to attack us. He is indeed being sarcastic. Hiss. Hearing this, the demon heroes of Xiaofan's plane all gasped. Okay, let's not dawdle. Let's get out of this area first. Xiaofan shrugged helplessly. So, the dozens of demon heroes of Xiaofan's plane also continued forward. Damn, now, Rong is guarding the demon heroes of his plane. Advancing and retreating together. His powerful leadership ability and spiritual aura were like that of a true god. He protected the chivalrous heroes of their dimension, causing their temperaments to become incomparably firm and powerful. Each of them seemed to have found their faith. Now I can't launch a sneak attack. Rong is too strong, many times stronger than the tower master of our plane. His spiritual power is also very terrifying. If I act rashly, it's very likely that I'll be discovered by him. Xiaofan was also very afraid and didn't act rashly. Originally, I was prepared to kill all the demon heroes of their plane, causing their entire army to be annihilated, but there's no chance for the time being. What a pity, only a few dozen people died on their side. It's not satisfying. Moreover, the situation is getting worse for us. If we leave this hallucinatory demonic realm area and Rong gives the order to attack us, then we'll be in trouble. We have no ability to resist at all. Xiaofan slowly moved forward while racking his brains, thinking of a countermeasure. If we really fight, with my ability, I can only escape. Before escaping, I'll first put eldest senior brother and big brother Luo Tianyu into the Despair Demon compound first. As for the rest of the demon heroes, I'll take in as many as I can. Unfortunately, the Despair Demon compound is too small, it can't accommodate so many demon heroes. Forget it, I don't care anymore, I can't even protect myself, I'll save as many as I can. In addition, I must frantically absorb and refine the hallucinatory demonic realm, accumulate my spiritual power, and make the most perfect accumulation and paving the way for me to cultivate the extinguishing heaven decimating earth mental technique. After making up his mind, Xiaofan completely ignored Rong and the demon heroes who were walking in front of him. Xiaofan focused on absorbing and refining the surrounding hallucinatory demonic realm. At any time, he would help the demon heroes around him, helping them get rid of the hallucinatory demonic realm that might pose a threat to them and induce them to be possessed. A few hours passed. Finally, all the elders of Rong's plane, Rong himself, and the demon hero team led by Rong all passed through this hallucinatory demonic realm area. The pagoda master of Xiaohan's plane, the 12 elders, and the ancient giant Yan Qi also broke through the heavy encirclement. Xiaohan, Xiao Mingchu, Luo Tianyu, and dozens of demon heroes were also about to reach the end. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, Xiaohan once again absorbed and refined the 12 hallucinatory demonic realms. Now, in Xiaohan's brain, the gaseous spiritual power had undergone a fundamental change. The gaseous spiritual power that was like a mist had completely changed into the shape of a raindrop. Whoosh 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 whoosh, the spiritual rainwater was pattering in Xiaohan's brain. Every drop of rainwater was dark gold in color, engraved with mysterious patterns. Moreover, the weight of every drop of rainwater was enough to collapse a mountain. My spiritual power has improved very quickly. Now, the gaseous spiritual power has completely condensed into the shape of rain. This is a sign that my spiritual power has liquefied. And now, I have only cultivated to the 7th spiritual finger technique of the extinguishing heaven decimating earth mental technique. If I cultivate a few more finger techniques, my spiritual power will transform again, and it will definitely be completely liquefied. Xiaohan evaluated in his heart. Junior brother Xiaohan, we have also reached the end. Let's go out. Xiao Mingchu's voice rang in Xiaohan's ears. To be continued. Chapter 423. After a lot of hardships, the dozens of evil heroes from Xiaohan's plane finally walked 5,000 miles, passed through this hallucinatory demonic land, and reached the end. It was not easy. What was even more difficult was that they passed through with 0 deaths. None of the evil heroes from Xiaohan's plane died. This completely violated Rong's prophecy. However, seriously speaking, if it wasn't for Xiaohan secretly playing the role of a nanny, the death rate would definitely be more than half. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, Xiaohan and the others left the hallucinatory demonic land and flew to the Tower Master's side one by one. At this moment, Rong's people gathered on the other side. Rong crossed his arms and looked at the people from Xiaohan's plane with interest. It was like a beast looking at weak prey. The evil heroes from Rong's plane had undisguised murderous intent on their faces. Their faces were ferocious and evil, and their eyes were bloodthirsty and cruel. The two sides were clearly divided, and vaguely, they formed a confrontation. In the azure blue space without a trace of impurity, the atmosphere was eerily quiet. Oppressive. Damn. It seems like we really have to make a move. Xiaofan stood behind the Tower Master and the 12th Elder without batting an eyelid. His spirit force spread out in all directions. If there was even the slightest hint of danger, Xiaofan would immediately run away. At this moment, the Tower Master's face was completely pale. His teeth made a slight creaking sound, and he clenched his fists tightly. The difference in strength between the two sides was like heaven and earth. On Xiaohan's side, there was a Tower Master. There were 12 elders and 81 evil heroes, including Xiaofan. The other side was led by Rong, and there were 3 elders. There were 40 elders, and the number of evil heroes was still close to 1,000. It was no exaggeration to say that even if Rong attacked alone, it was enough to kill all the people on Xiaohan's side. There was no doubt about this. Clap clap clap. At this moment, Rong clapped his hands. His face was completely cold, and his eyes began to brew a vicious murderous intent. Every clap of his, like muffled thunder, it struck the minds of everyone on Xiaohan's plane, causing their souls to tremble. It was as if Rong was just clapping his hands. He could kill everyone on Xiaohan's plane. You brother Rong, you, Pagoda Master's throat choked. Congratulations, Rong said indifferently. Congratulations everyone. It's really unexpected. All of you were able to pass, and there was 0 death rate. Hee hee. Earlier, I asserted that more than half of you would die, but now. What a slap in the face. Congratulations everyone, you used your actions to slap me in the face. It hurts. It hurts. Ha 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 ha. Rong's laughter was slightly deranged. And this plane of ours. Dozens of people actually died. Rong sighed deeply. This makes me very unhappy. Very unhappy. He stared at everyone on Xiaohan's plane with a deep gaze. His stare made one's hair stand on end. This seat is very sad. Of course, you guys can't understand this seat's sadness. Let me give you an example. When a lion dies in front of an antelope, that kind of sorrow and grievance. Do you understand now? So, all of you must, as he spoke, the elders and the demons under Rongxian's command all revealed their murderous intent. True qi flickered from their bodies, as if they were about to attack at any moment. Wait! The Pagoda Master started to bark hysterically. Wait a moment. Rong, you're too overbearing. Too tyrannical. Yes, your plain strength is strong, and I can only endure the grievance when I encounter your suppression. However, I hope you guys don't go too far. If you insist on killing and exterminating all of us, then I swear that you guys will pay a painful price. Roar! The Pagoda Master let out the cry of a beast that was on the verge of extinction. Oh! A painful price? Rongxian was stunned, and then he waved his hand, indicating his subordinates to not act rashly for the time being. At this moment, the Pagoda Master took out a crystal ball from his storage ring. Inside this crystal ball, there was a dense and terrifying energy. The color of this energy was dim, but it seemed to contain the power to destroy heaven and earth. On the surface of the crystal ball, there were some seals. However, even if there were seals, the energy inside the crystal ball still faintly emitted a terrifying fluctuation that caused people's hearts to palpitate. Rongxian slightly frowned. I didn't expect you to also refine this kind of thing. The expression on the Pagoda Master's face was completely crazed. Right, Rong, you should have also refined this kind of destruction crystal ball. For existences like us who have opened the heavenly eye, we can see the immortal qi between heaven and earth. Similarly, we can also see the dangerous energy drifting between heaven and earth. Many years ago, I started to collect the dangerous energy between heaven and earth and carefully sealed it into this crystal ball. These destructive energies, some come from the underground abyss, some from the bottom of the sea, some from the volcanoes, and some from the areas where the demon race has run rampant. I even once risked my life to collect all kinds of dangerous energy in the universe near the plane. Countless dangerous energies, after being compressed and refined into this crystal ball, are sealed and suppressed. However, when I have to fight with my life on the line, I will not hesitate to open the seal, causing this destruction crystal ball to directly explode. Ahahaha. The pagoda master's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Let's perish together. If we really push it too far, we'll perish together. I'll directly detonate this crystal ball. You only collected this little bit of destructive energy. Do you think you can blow me up? Rongxian laughed sinisterly. Idiot. Right, Rong, your cultivation is too strong. Even if I detonate the crystal ball, I definitely won't be able to kill you. However, you will definitely be injured. Moreover, at least half of the elders and heroes behind you will be blown up. The pagoda master's eyes were blood red. Rongxian, can you accept half of your people dying? Impudent. Rongxian shouted. During the detonation process, half of our people will die, while all of your people will be annihilated. Even you will die. You will be directly blown up. Ha 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 ha, a life and death struggle. I will not hesitate to die. The pagoda master's eyes were completely bloodshot. This kind of ending. It's better than our people being one-sidedly slaughtered by you, right? Ha ha ha. With the death of our 81 heroes, in exchange for the death of your hundreds of elites. It's worth it. I think it's completely worth it. Moreover. Rong, can't you see? I and the 12 elders are all in the form of avatars heading to the genius zone. My main body is still guarding the plane. Ha ha ha. The death of the avatar will only consume half of the main body's energy. As long as tens of thousands of years pass, this energy can be replenished. Ha 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 ha. Do you think I dare to detonate it? Damn it. Rongxian finally felt defeated. Truly cowardly and pitiful. Actually using avatars to explore. Afraid of death. Cowardly and afraid of death. Who isn't afraid of death? The pagoda master was very confident. At this moment, Lord Rong, porcelain doesn't fight with tiles. Porcelain did not fight with tiles. The people in that plane were all lowly people. They wanted to die together. We don't need to accompany them to the end. Our lives are thousands of times more precious than their lives. Several elders transmitted to Rongxian at the same time. Rongxian closed his eyes and then transmitted his mental fluctuations to all his subordinates. Alright, everyone, listen. Don't kill them for now. If we push them too far, these people will all become outlaws. Our strength must be preserved and enter the genius zone to compete. That's the way of the king. Furthermore, the world of immortals had issued an edict stating that before entering the genius zone, internal strife was forbidden between the ordinary planes. If we really kill them all, the world of immortals might punish us when they find out. We can't let these pigs affect the future of our great plane. Of course, that doesn't mean we'll let these lowly things go so easily. Kill them, of course we must kill them. No one can save them. But we must choose the right time to kill them. There's still more than half of the journey to the springboard. It'll take more than 150 days, during which we'll run into all sorts of dangers. In that case, we'll find an opportunity to kill those pigs and dogs in the next danger zone. For example, the Tower Master's destructive crystal ball will be restricted in some of the hallucinatory fiend realms. Even if it detonates, it won't do much damage to us. That's right. We'll find the best opportunity to kill them. After a brief exchange, listen, I'll let you go this time. Count yourself lucky. Rong Xian looked coldly at the tower master, the muscles at the corner of his eyes twitching. He waved his hand. Come, let's continue forward. Whoosh whoosh, Rong Xian led a group of people forward. However, he left 20 elders behind to keep an eye on the people from Xiaofan's plane. Phew, the tower master seemed to be exhausted. He put the destructive crystal ball back into his storage ring, then gritted his teeth and said, let's continue forward. We'll try to reach the genius zone as soon as possible. We'll try to reach the genius zone as soon as possible. Rong Xian and the others won't dare to make a move when we reach the genius zone. Moreover, if we encounter people from other planes along the way, things will turn for the better. The pagoda master took the lead and led the way. The 12 elders sighed and followed behind him. Yan Qi and the other demons followed behind. When the people from Xiaofan's plane flew away, the 20 elders Rong left behind followed far behind. Eldest senior brother, those fellows won't let us go. Xiaofan, Xiao Mingchu, and Luo Tianyu flew side by side. Xiao Mingchu and Luo Tianyu nodded. They won't let us enter the genius zone unscathed. They will definitely find a chance to kill us along the way. Xiaofan frowned. Eldest senior brother, big brother Luo, I have a special demonic technique that can store living beings in a demon emperor crystal. Once something happens, I will release this demonic technique. Don't resist then. Just enter a demon emperor crystal on my left arm. Then, I will use a demonic technique to escape. When it comes to escaping, I have some experience. I also have a few demonic techniques that are suitable for escaping, Xiaofan added. Alright, we will do as you say, junior brother Xiaofan. I will obey. Xiao Mingchu nodded decisively. I have no objections either. Luo Tianyu also nodded. The people from the two planes advanced for another 10 days. On the way, they did not encounter any overly dangerous situations. Some of the hallucinatory demonic lands were also weak. They did not cause any casualties to the people from the two planes. This way, Rong Xian's plane could not find a chance to kill the people of Xiaofan's plane. The next day, suddenly, a gigantic palace appeared in front of the two planes' people's field of vision. This was a magnificent palace. It could be said to be splendid, and its whole body was emitting a colorful luster. In the palace, there were mountains of pearls, jade, and all kinds of priceless treasures. Furthermore, many handsome men and women could be seen walking back and forth in the palace. Ah, so beautiful, what a beautiful palace! At a glance, the few demons beside Xiaofan revealed expressions of fascination. Glory, splendor, wealth, wake up. That's the hallucinatory demonic lands. It's not a palace. Xiaofan frowned and reminded. Junior brother Xiaofan, something is wrong. The palace formed by the hallucinatory demonic lands in front is very strange. It gives people a complicated feeling. It's as if we can't get out once we go in. Xiao Mingchu was also at a loss. Yes, eldest senior brother, I also sensed it. That palace is an enormous labyrinth. There's actually a formation inside. Xiaofan nodded thoughtfully. Ahead. Lord Rong, it's actually countless hallucinatory demonic lands that formed a hallucinatory palace. The inside seems to have formed a maze. Several elders beside Rong said in shock. Lord Rong, to pass through this hallucinatory palace, the difficulty is much more difficult than the 5,000 li hallucinatory demonic lands. It's okay. It's just a maze. I'm sure I can break it. Rong waved his hand. This is the only way to enter the space springboard. It's impossible to avoid it. Everyone, prepare to enter. In addition, there are traces of the laws of space and time in this maze. The crystal ball of destruction in that bastard's hand can't display its power in the maze. Even if it explodes, the destruction will be less than 10%. Everyone, listen carefully. After everyone enters the maze, if you find any demons from their plane, kill them without mercy. If you kill people in the maze, I'm afraid the immortal world won't find out. Yes. That maze will be the burial place of those trash demons from the plane. To be continued. Chapter 424. In front of the two demon heroes from the two planes, on the road that they must pass, there appeared a towering dreamy palace. This palace was as beautiful as a poem or painting. It emitted a faintly discernible feeling, as if it was a palace where immortals lived in the heavens. However, everyone knew that this palace was not as beautiful as it looked. It was formed by the hallucinatory demonic realm. Hallucinatory Demon Palace. Although the hallucinatory demonic realm in the 5,000-mile region was extremely dense, it was still a scattered hallucinatory demonic realm that hadn't formed a strong enough atmosphere. But the hallucinatory demonic palace he was facing now was formed from countless hallucinatory demonic boundaries. Traces of the laws of time and space flowed within it, and there was even a labyrinth that was automatically laid out. The degree of danger was countless times greater than the hallucinatory demonic boundary in the 5,000-kilometer region. The people of Rong's plane were all skilled and bold. Under Rong's lead, they all entered the illusory demon palace. As for the people from Xiaofan's side, they did not move for the time being. Everyone, come here. I will discuss with everyone. The pagoda master ordered. Xiao, the 12th elder, Yan Qi, and 81 chivalrous heroes, including Xiaofan, flew to the tower master's side. Pagoda master, should we enter the hallucinatory demon palace immediately? An elder immediately asked. The pagoda master pondered. His expression was uncertain as he fell into deep thought. But, pagoda master, the danger level of this illusory devil palace is obvious at a glance. It is many times more terrifying than the previous 5,000 miles region. There is also a maze inside the devil palace. It is possible that we will be trapped inside. Another elder said. He said nervously. Yes. The demonic hallucination palace was dangerous. After we enter, we will face a huge challenge, but should we not enter because of this? Have all of you forgotten why we left our hometown and braved the danger to come here? The treasures of Immortal Emperor Zhu Dao. The Genius Zone. Immortal Fate. The pagoda master's voice was hoarse and fierce. His eyes were bloodshot. All of you have clearly seen how domineering the Narong plane is, treating us like lowly livestock. However, do we have the qualifications to fight? No. Because we are weaker than them. Incompetence is a sin. In this world, the strong survive and the weak perish. Now that we've left our homeland and widened our horizons, we've come to realize just how weak our plane is. A plane at the level of Rome. There are many, many more. Are we willing to accept this? No. We want to change. We need to become strong. It allows us to bully others, but no one dares to step on us. It was the voice of the Tower Master. Impassioned. Many evil heroes could feel their blood boiling. Xiaofan, on the other hand, didn't think much of it. The Tower Master is risking his avatar, so he doesn't have to worry about anything. Even if his avatar is destroyed, his main body is still there, so he's invincible. But for us, the heroes, it doesn't matter if we die. Our souls will be destroyed and will vanish into thin air. It's easy for the Tower Master to say that. If he came with his true body, I don't believe that he would still dare to say such tough words. Xiaofan was somewhat disdainful of the pagoda master. However, he maintained his composure. What's the only way to change the strength of our plane? The treasure hunt in the Genius Zone, the pagoda master roared. Therefore, we can't retreat. Even if we face the dangerous hallucinatory demon palace, we can't retreat. Yes. Don't retreat. Don't give up. The pagoda master's successful brainwashing caused the dozens of evil heroes to cheer. Yes. Enter the hallucinatory demon palace. Previously, in the 5,000-mile hallucinatory demon realm, we all passed with 0 deaths. Moreover, every time our people were about to turn into demons, they were always able to turn danger into safety. This means that luck is on our side. I have a feeling that the hallucinatory demon palace won't be a problem for us. An elder screamed hysterically, extremely excited. As for the other elder, he frowned deeply. Pagoda Master, everyone, I have no objections to entering the hallucinatory demon palace. However, there's no harm in waiting for a few days before entering. The group from the Rhone Plain has already entered. If we enter now and encounter them in the hallucinatory demon palace, I'm afraid, a bloody battle is unavoidable. Pagoda Master, the power of your crystal ball of destruction will be greatly weakened in the hallucinatory demon palace. It won't be able to intimidate the people from the Rhone Plain, causing them to hesitate. Why don't we wait for them to pass through the palace first, and then rest here for a few days before entering? I can't wait. The Pagoda Master shook his head. The opening of the Genius Zone is getting closer and closer. Time waits for no man. We can't afford to waste a single day. If we delay our journey and miss the opening of the Genius Zone, then everything we've done will be in vain. Besides, Narong left 20 elders behind to monitor us. If we don't enter the hallucinatory demon palace, those 20 elders might make a move on us. The Pagoda Master's gaze swept across the crowd. The 20 elders from the Rhone Plain were glaring at them with murderous intent, as if they were waiting for the day to come. Don't worry. There are traces of the law of time and the law of space in the hallucinatory demon palace, and there are layers of mazes. Even if we enter, we may not encounter the people from the Rhone Plain. Everyone rest for an hour and prepare well before entering the hallucinatory demon palace. After entering, communicate with each other using the Devil Hero token, the Pagoda Master said decisively. Then, everyone dispersed. Xiaofan, Xiao Mingchu, Luo Tianyu, and several other Devil Heroes gathered together and chatted. Eldest senior brother, big brother Luo, everyone. Xiaofan thought for a moment and then said cautiously. The hallucinatory demon palace is extremely dangerous. Here, I have a suggestion. Xiaofan knew very well that the reason why everyone in his plane could pass through the 5,000-kilometer hallucinatory magic land without any casualties was because he had done something behind the scenes. If he hadn't done anything, at least 50 of the 81 demons would have died. Now that they were about to enter the hallucinatory demon palace, Xiaofan couldn't be like before. He had to secretly protect the devil heroes beside him at all times. This was because the hallucinatory demon palace was similar to Xiaohan's demon city. After entering, everyone would be separated and lose the ability to take care of each other. That was why Xiaofan had made his suggestion. Junior brother Xiaofan, feel free to speak your mind. Xiao Mingchu smiled faintly. Little brother Xiaofan, do you want to put us into your Demon Emperor crystal? Luo Tianyu knew what he wanted. Yes. Now that things had come to this, Xiaofan didn't hide it anymore. After entering the hallucinatory demon palace, everyone will definitely be separated and teleported to different corners of the palace. The strength of our plane is originally weak. As the saying goes, when we are united, we are strong. When we are separated, we will definitely die if we encounter the people from the Rhone Plain. That's why I would like to invite everyone to enter the Demon Emperor crystal in my left arm. I won't be entering. Hearing this, an ancient giant, who was also a middle-aged man at the level 8 True Energy Talisman Formation realm, immediately shook his head. Then, he walked to the side. He muttered to himself, this Xiaofan is famous for his demonic techniques and craftiness. He is also ruthless. How can I let him cast the technique and enter the Demon Emperor crystal in his left arm? At that time, life and death will be in his hands. Hearing this, Xiaofan only shook his head and laughed. If you are not willing, I won't force you. Ha ha ha. Junior brother Xiaofan, do you think I don't trust you? I am willing. Xiao Mingchu laughed. Little brother Xiaofan, you can cast the technique. Luo Tianyu laughed calmly. Standing next to Xiaofan, there were still 5 ancient giants. One of them left, leaving 4 behind. Yes, Despair Demon Compound can probably accommodate 6 people. Xiaofan smiled faintly and said seriously. Everyone, please open your heart and don't resist. In the next moment, suddenly, Xiaofan's Demon Emperor palm on his left arm exploded with demonic light. A sorrowful demonic song sounded. Chapter 425. Xiaofan's feet were steady. He had arrived at the hallucinatory demon palace. Xiaofan immediately looked around. He saw that he was in a beautiful palace. The whole palace was made of green jade, and a misty green light flowed freely. This palace was very big. At a glance, it was at least hundreds of meters long and wide. There were pavilions everywhere, rockery, ponds, moats, streets and markets. Xiaofan stood where he was, using his eyesight to observe as he evaluated in his heart. This palace is very big. According to my rough observation, there should be thousands of courtyards and tens of thousands of houses. The palace's periphery is surrounded by high walls in all directions, forming a heavily fortified castle. The scenery is very spectacular. There are yellow glazed roofs and green and white stone bases, decorated with splendid paintings. But, where is the exit? It was difficult for Xiaofan to find the exit in the palace just by relying on his eyes. Therefore, with a thought, Xiaofan unleashed his divine sense to sense the surroundings. However, what a strong resistance! Xiaofan was shocked. After the spirit power spread out, it was actually blocked and confined by the surrounding space. Xiaofan's spirit power could only spread out hundreds of meters, and then it couldn't go any further. Moreover, all the buildings in this palace, every grass and every tree, were all made of the hallucinatory demon realm. When Xiaofan released his spirit power, there were immediately countless waves of the hallucinatory demon realm attacking Xiaofan's spirit power, causing Xiaofan to have some slight hallucinations and auditory hallucinations. Xiaofan didn't dare to neglect and withdrew his spirit power. As expected. After entering the hallucinatory demon palace, I have already lost contact with the other monsters. I have lost contact with them. More than 100 people flew in at the same time, but not a single one of them appeared beside me. Not only that, even the evil heroes from the Rhone Plain are nowhere to be seen. Xiaofan licked his lips. Suddenly, his body moved and he controlled his true qi to fly away. Xiaofan's body flashed. He didn't know how many miles he flew. However, when his feet landed, he found that it seemed that he was still standing in the same place, not moving at all. In this hallucinatory demon palace, flying is useless. It seems to be restricted by the law of space. Flying here and there, I can't move forward. Xiaofan didn't move recklessly. From all directions, the illusions assaulted him like a tidal wave. Xiaofan steadied his mind. He took out the Devil Hero token and tried to send a message to the Tower Master and the Devil Hero of his dimension. However, the message was sent over, but it was like a clay ox entering the sea. There was no reply. I can't communicate with the chivalrous token anymore, Xiaofan was well aware. The current situation was, 1. The demonic illusory palace was extremely large. It was hundreds of kilometers long and wide. There were thousands of courtyards and tens of thousands of houses. Everything in the demon palace was an illusion created by the hallucinatory demonic realm. Hence, there were hallucinations and auditory hallucinations everywhere. If a person stayed there for a long period of time, no matter how determined he was, there was a possibility that he would turn into a demon. 2. In the hallucinatory demonic palace, there are spatial laws and mazes. There are even some traces of temporal laws, so flying is useless. 3. He lost contact with other people and entered a state of isolation and helplessness. The communication function of the evil hero token failed. 4. Temporarily unable to find the exit to leave this demonic hallucination palace. Just as Xiaofan was deep in thought, Hong, in the eastern sky, a white jade divine dragon with a ferocious expression pounced towards Xiaofan. Pooh! Puff! 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 Under the cover of the dragon's might, the ground where Xiaofan was cracked and exploded. Illusion. Xiaohan's body did not move at all. His hands formed a seal. In an instant, the white jade divine dragon disintegrated into many hallucinatory demonic realms and shot into Xiaohan's brain. All of them were refined into Xiaohan's mental strength. Phew, it is indeed a little dangerous. There will be illusions appearing at any time. If my will is not firm, I will turn into a demon. Xiaofan let out a breath of turbid air. Fortunately, my mental strength is very strong and I have cultivated the extinguishing heaven and earth spirit technique. Hence, not only will I not turn into a demon, but I can also absorb and refine the illusions in this demonic hallucination palace. Suddenly, an idea flashed into Xiaohan's mind. Come on. Along the way, I absorbed and refined several hallucinatory demonic realms, causing my mental strength to soar. I have already accumulated enough mental strength and can feel the signs of my mental strength liquefying. With Rong, Tower Master and the others by my side, I could not find the chance to cultivate the extinguishing heaven and earth spirit technique in peace. But now, in this demonic hallucination palace, the mazes all around have instead provided me with a great opportunity to cultivate alone. Let's see how many mental finger seals I can complete now. Xiaohan's eyes were filled with confidence. The extinguishing heaven and earth spirit technique. The 1st to 10th sets of mental finger seals belong to the cultivation of transforming mental strength. The 11th to 20th sets belong to the cultivation of liquefying mental strength. The 21st to 28th sets belong to the cultivation of solidifying mental strength. Before this, Xiaofan had only cultivated up to the 7th set of mental finger seals. The mental strength in his brain had actually strengthened a little, and the amount had also increased a little. The golden rain-like mental strength in Xiaohan's brain was even more concentrated, like a violent storm, pouring out with a hua 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 sound. Breakthrough to the 9th mental finger seal. The 9th set of mental finger seal was also completed very easily. The mental strength in Xiaohan's brain was like a violent storm, pouring down like a torrential rain. The gurgling rainwater turned into a torrent. Surging and surging. The 10th set of mental finger seal. There was still energy left. Boom! As soon as the 10th set of mental finger seal was completed, the torrential mental strength in Xiaohan's brain suddenly exploded. In the next moment, the raindrops turned into densely packed dark golden fragments. Every piece of dark gold shard was inscribed with mysterious patterns. At this point, Xiaohan's mental strength had undergone several transformations. Gaseous form, raindrop form, torrential rain form, dark golden fragments. Now I'm trying to break through to the 11th mental finger seal. Once I succeed, my mental strength will completely liquefy. Xiaohan took a deep breath, adjusted his state, placed both his hands on his dantian, and began to meditate on the 1876 gestures of the 11th mental finger seal. I should be able to succeed. I have absorbed and refined so many hallucinatory demonic lands, in terms of mental strength accumulation, it has already reached perfection. Xiaofan was still full of confidence. At this moment, wang wang wang, another wave of hallucinatory demonic lands rushed into the small house. However, these hallucinatory demonic lands were not illusions, but auditory hallucinations that appeared in Xiaohan's ears, causing his body to tense up. Hallucinatory demonic palace possesses the laws of time and space, and can also set up mazes. Hallucinatory demonic palace. 10 days in the hallucinatory demonic lands is equivalent to 1 day in the real world. Hallucinatory demonic palace. The level of the hallucinatory demonic lands increases day by day. The second day of the hallucinatory demonic lands is 10 times more dangerous than the first day, the third day is 20 times more dangerous than the second day, the fourth day is 30 times more dangerous than the third day. Hallucinatory demonic palace. 8653 courtyards, 27,886 houses, among which there are 1,000 hidden exits. Every exit can only allow one living being to leave, and every exit can only be used once. After one living being is teleported out, the exit will disappear. From 8653 courtyards, 27,886 houses, search for 1,000 exits. After a series of whispers, the auditory hallucinations dissipated. Xiaohan's body shook. This is the rule to leave hallucinatory demonic palace. In other words, the entire hallucinatory demonic palace, including the courtyards and houses, has close to 40,000, but there are only 1,000 exits. Every exit could only allow one living being to leave. Furthermore, the hallucinatory devil realm in the devil palace would become more and more dangerous with each passing day. The level of danger would increase by 10 times. He had to make the best use of his time to find the exit. Otherwise, the longer he stayed in the devil palace, the more danger he would face. If I stay in the demonic palace for 10 days, then the danger level of the hallucinatory demonic realm will be over 100 times more dangerous than the first day. At that time, even existences like the Tower Master can become bewitched. There is about a 1 in 40 chance of finding the exit. Xiaohan completely understood. Looks like I have to hurry and cultivate, then go out and find the exit. Otherwise, if the 1,000 exits are found by others before me, then there will be no more exits for me to leave, and I will be trapped here until I die. Xiaohan's heart palpitated. Let's cultivate the 11th spirit finger technique first, and let my spirit liquefy. Xiaohan immediately calmed his mind, and without any distractions, he formed a seal with both hands. The 11th spirit finger technique contained a total of 1,876 hand seals. Xiaohan connected the hand seals one by one, like floating clouds and flowing water. There was no pause in the middle. Following the perfect connection of each hand seal, the dark gold fragments in Xiaohan's mind began to piece together, about to form a complete spiritual body. At the same time, Xiaohan's spirit rose in a straight line, unstoppable. To be continued. Chapter 426. Hallucinatory Demon Palace. Inside a house. Xiaohan was trying his best to complete the 11th spiritual finger gesture of the extinguishing sky decimating earth spiritual technique. Once he completed the 11th spiritual finger gesture, Xiaohan's spiritual power would increase by leaps and bounds. He would enter a new level. It was a complete transformation. Spiritual power vaporization and liquefaction were two completely different concepts. For example, the difference between the two realms was like the difference between the initial success level and the middle stage of the sword intent. Xiaohan's hands were like butterflies fluttering through flowers. All kinds of mysterious and obscure hand gestures were smoothly combined and connected without any gaps. There was no pause in the middle. In Xiaohan's sea of consciousness. In the vast and boundless sea of consciousness, countless dark golden fragments began to combine and formed a miniature planet that was suffused with a misty halo and water vapor. This miniature planet was actually completely liquid. As it trembled, there were water ripples. The entire miniature planet was emitting a formless spiritual wave. Xiaofan's entire body was trembling. Moreover, Xiaofan's brain was heating up. With every series of hand gestures, the liquid miniature planet in his sea of consciousness burst forth with a poochie-poochie sound, as if it was boiling. Fine and dense spiritual waves began to gather at the core of the liquid miniature planet, like drops of water gathering into a stream, a river, a lake. At this moment, succeed for me. All of a sudden, Xiaofan completed the last hand gesture of the 11th spiritual finger gesture. Boom! A strong electric current of heat burst forth from Xiaofan's sea of consciousness and continuously rotated. It flowed through Xiaofan's limbs and bones. In the sea of consciousness, the liquid miniature planet expanded and contracted continuously. Xiaofan could only feel that his consciousness seemed to be trembling along with the rhythm of the liquid miniature planet. Success! Xiaofan's spiritual power had finally been perfectly liquefied. The density of the liquid miniature planet's spiritual power was very high. Even a drop of it could release a huge amount of spiritual power. After the spiritual power has been liquefied, it is more than 1,000 times stronger than the gaseous spiritual power. The current Xiaofan's entire mind was clear. There were no distracting thoughts in his mind. His mind was indescribably strong. His eyes contained a kind of invincibility and divine light of strategizing. The liquefaction of my mental energy has increased the power of my mastery saber intent. Xiaofan smiled in satisfaction. Furthermore, with my current mental strength, if I wanted to reform someone like Yan Lang, I wouldn't even need to threaten him or force him to open his heart. I would be able to erase his sense of self almost instantly. I forcefully planted faith in him in his mind and soul. Purify him by force. Xiaofan nodded. He knew it very well. After completing the 5th spiritual finger incantation, I can only purify targets at the 5th level of Zhenqi. After completing the 7th spiritual finger incantation, I can only purify targets at the 6th level of Zhenqi, the expanded acupoint realm. As for targets at the 7th level of Zhenqi, the talisman transformation realm, it will be much more difficult to purify them. At the very least, he had to reach the spiritual energy liquid phase. Now that I have completed the 11th set of spiritual force incantation, I have just entered the liquefaction phase of spiritual force, and I can help ordinary true qi to the 7th stage talisman transformation realm. However, he is still unable to purify true qi to the 8th stage formation realm. I estimate that after completing the 15th set of spiritual force incantation, I will be able to purify ordinary true qi to the 8th stage formation realm. After cultivating the 20th set of spiritual force incantation, I will be able to purify any peak stage formation realm. In order to purify true qi to the 9th stage true treasure realm, I will need to solidify my mental strength. All the hallucinatory demonic mirror that I absorbed and refined previously has been used up in the process of liquefying my mental strength. Xiaofan stood up. However, there are many hallucinatory demonic mirror in this hallucinatory demonic palace. I can absorb them as I please. With a thought, Xiaofan formed a seal with both hands. Suddenly, the entire house, courtyard, fake mountains, and pond where he was at all became illusory, turning into thousands of hallucinatory demonic mirror. Like a silk being reeled from a cocoon, it merged into Xiaofan's sea of consciousness. Rumbling refinement. The liquid miniature planet in his sea of consciousness began to expand, emitting waves of pleasure that poured over Xiaofan's entire body. Now that Xiaofan's mental strength had liquefied, the hallucinatory demonic mirror that he was refining became even more frenzied, like a whale swallowing seawater. My current true qi realm is still at the expanded acupoint realm. Furthermore, I haven't accumulated enough to form talismans yet. Xiaofan muttered to himself. This time, those who want to enter the genius zone to search for celestial treasures are all geniuses from various realms. True Qi at the 7th stage talisman materialization realm is considered cannon fodder in this treasure hunt. True Qi at the 8th stage talisman formation realm is nothing special. To be truly competitive, I'm afraid I'll have to be at the 9th stage true treasure realm. I'm at the expanded acupoint realm, but in terms of true Qi cultivation, I'm even worse than cannon fodder. My true Qi realm is low. Extremely low. Definitely at the bottom. However, my mental strength and soul are strong enough. After my mental strength liquefied, the strength of my soul has definitely surpassed that of the pagoda master. In fact, it has even surpassed that powerful Rong. Techniques that specifically cultivate mental strength are rare in the world. Even ordinary immortals don't have techniques that specifically cultivate mental strength. Thus, although the pagoda master and Rong are leaders of their respective realms, with true Qi cultivation at the 10th stage, 101 true acupoints opened in their bodies, and heaven's eyes opened, in terms of mental strength, they are no match for me. Mental strength. This will be my greatest asset when I, Xiaofan, enter the genius zone and compete with the geniuses of the other realms. Xiaofan was well aware of his strengths and weaknesses. However, I still need to refine the hallucinatory demonic realm and continue to cultivate the subsequent mental strength hand seals of the extinguishing sky decimating earth mental strength technique. Boom, boom, boom. Xiaofan walked in the hallucinatory demonic palace, his hands continuously forming hand seals, refining and decomposing the surrounding buildings. The liquid miniature planet in his sea of consciousness was constantly strengthening after eating the hallucinatory demonic realm. At the same time, Xiaofan completely released his mental strength. When he first entered the hallucinatory demonic palace, Xiaofan's mental strength could only sweep out 100 meters. It couldn't continue. But now, mental strength after liquefaction. Just a slight radiance would cover an area of tens of thousands of meters. In other words, within the hallucinatory demonic palace, everything within a range of tens of thousands of meters was under Xiaofan's control. Of course. If he left the hallucinatory demonic palace, the range of Xiaofan's mental strength would be even more terrifying. Courtyard after courtyard, house after house, appeared within the range of Xiaofan's mental strength. Furthermore, I've finally found someone. As the range of his mental strength increased, Xiaofan finally found other evil heroes in the hallucinatory demonic palace. Within a range of tens of thousands of meters with Xiaofan as the center, hundreds of evil heroes appeared. 90% of them were evil heroes from the Rong dimension, while there were only 10 or so evil heroes from Xiaofan's dimension. Under Xiaofan's observation, he found out whether it was the evil heroes from the Rong dimension or the evil heroes from his dimension. Now they were all searching one courtyard after another, house after house. Oh. It seems that everyone understands the rules of this hallucinatory demonic palace. 8,653 courtyards, 27,886 houses, among which there are 1,000 hidden exits. Each exit can only allow one creature to leave. Each exit can only be used once. After a creature is teleported out, the exit will disappear. Everyone is looking for an exit. Xiaofan was well aware of this. All of a sudden. Xiaofan focused his mind. In an ordinary house on the east side, there was a door formed by a light screen. This door emitted spatial teleportation waves. Exit? Xiaofan's expression changed. I actually found an exit. In the entire hallucinatory demonic palace, the number of houses and courtyards added up to nearly 40,000, but there were only 1,000 hidden exits. It could be said that any exit was precious to the evil heroes trapped in the demonic palace. Now, as soon as Xiaofan's mind wave was released, he successfully found an exit. This was a great thing. As long as Xiaofan entered that house, he could leave this hallucinatory demonic palace. Of course, Xiaofan could easily find an exit, but this did not mean that other evil heroes could do it as easily as Xiaofan. Xiaofan's mental strength was too strong, and his observation range covered an area of tens of thousands of meters, so it was easy to find. As for the other evil heroes, their mental strength was far inferior to Xiaofan's, and their observation range was probably only a few dozen meters. How could they find it? They could only search slowly from house to yard, digging 3 feet into the ground. Should I leave now? Xiaofan licked his lips. But soon, Xiaofan shook his head. This hallucinatory demonic palace is the best place to practice the exterminating heaven and earth mental technique. If I leave so easily, it would be a waste of God's gift. Although tomorrow, the hallucinatory demonic realm that runs rampant in the demonic palace will be 10 times more dangerous, it will be easy for me to deal with it. That's right. The hallucinatory demonic realm is 10 times stronger, and I will refine it more than today. I'll stay for a few more days. Xiaofan made a decision. However, this exit can't be wasted. Xiaofan used his mental strength to investigate, and found that there were hundreds of evil heroes within tens of thousands of meters, but none of them had found the house with the hidden exit. Friend, please come out. With a thought, Xiaofan released a demon hero from the despair demon compound that had existed for thousands of years. Oh. Xiaofan, what's the situation now? Are we already in the hallucinatory demonic palace? The ancient giant evil hero had a blank expression. Let's talk as we walk. Xiaofan did not waste time, and directly brought the ancient giant to the house with the hidden exit. Along the way, he explained the rules of the hallucinatory demonic palace in a concise manner. There are only 1,000 exits? The ancient giant had a shocked expression. There are more than 1,000 people in the Rhone Plain. Perhaps all the exits will be found by them. Then, won't all the people in this plain be trapped to death? Not necessarily. Finding the exit also depends on luck, and not completely on strength. Haven't I found an exit for you to leave now? Xiaofan smiled. He did not plan to let Xiao Mingchu use the exit to teleport out of the hallucinatory demonic palace for the time being. After all, after leaving, he did not know if there would be any danger. Thus, it was better for his eldest senior brother to stay with him more, and only let him out at the critical moment. With such a powerful mental strength, Xiaofan believed that he could continuously find new exits. Alright, now I'll bring you to the exit. Every exit can only teleport one person out, so I can't guarantee that you will be able to teleport out with me in the despair demon compound. To be safe, you should use an exit alone. Xiaofan looked at the ancient giant. Oh. Then I won't be polite. The ancient giant nodded. Xiaofan, thank you. I'll teleport out first. To be continued. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.